What's going on? I am Nando.
And I'm DJ.
And I'm Diggins.
And this is Mostly Nitpicking, a podcast where every week we pick apart a piece of pop culture by looking exclusively at the details. Woo-hoo! Is that because, did you guys do that sound? Because this is the remix, baby?
That's kind of what I was going for.
Encore.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of going for.
I did it because of my long established bit of just taking whatever energy DJ brings and amplifying it.
I was wondering how long you're going to go for. It's just going to be like, it's time to 8 minutes later, duel.
Yeah.
It does help that our names that we use for this podcast start with the same letter.
It does help.
That's what I do. I mean, I surround myself with people that use the name of one letter.
Well,
know?
And you're the odd man out, Nando. I guess.
Yeah.
Not even your real name. That if we ever speak aloud, you will be banished back to the fourth dimension.
No.
It says any D's in it.
It's the only reason he keeps us on this podcast and hasn't just rocketed success, because we have blackmailed him with the threat to send him to the fifth dimension.
The whole fifth dimension.
Or fourth, whatever. Whichever one.
I'm from both. Like,
we'll let you pick. Before we send you, you'd be like, you want fourth or fifth?
It's like, I don't know. Yeah, one of them. Guys, speaking of fourth or fifth, let's talk about a second thing. Guys, we're doing this podcast. This is amazing. We're doing it. No one ever believed we could do it, but we did.
We did it.
And it's the predictions and looking back episode.
Everyone's favorite, I guess.
Looking back to 2021 and looking forward to 2022.
Exactly.
And also looking back at what we said about 2021 in
That's right.
We're looking back at looking forward to 2021, and we'll be looking forward to looking back at 2022.
Mm-hmm. And that's because this is the one that is that episode, like the predictions episode.
That's
However, DJ, you want to explain the thing about it?
What thing about it?
The history of the episode.
Oh yeah, so we record these episodes once a week, and
sort of, kind of, roughly.
And this hasn't happened in a minute. It's been a while since this happened.
Listen, do we need to get into any specifics about what's going on here? I think we should just move on.
I think people will want to know why all of our reactions are like professional wrestlers playing for the cheap seats or whatever. I mean, for whatever reason, we recorded this once and then we lost it, so we don't have it, and we can't play it for you.
For reasons that have been lost to time. Impossible to say.
Yeah, exactly. No one could even guess. It's like what's something this is like? It's like a historical document. Like, it's like the Epic of Gilgamesh, where everyone remembers it a little differently or something, because this is the
Dead Sea Scrolls of podcasts.
Yeah.
Unable to be translated. So
here we are, you guys. Oh wait, DJ, you had the document open last time we did this.
I did have it open last time.
Do you still have it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, cool.
So what we did, or I guess what happened was, we made predictions in early 2021 about what would happen in 2021.
Yep.
And our faithful listeners, specifically Roger, kept us honest about what those were and documented them. So not only documented them, but made like a sheet of what was correct and what was wrong with said predictions. And we're going to go over and brag about how right or wrong we were regarding these predictions. And we're gonna do this, perfectly. It's gonna be so organic, you're not gonna believe it.
It's gonna be incredible. And you know what? I think it's fair to say that whoever amongst us did get the most right predictions is probably the coolest, smartest, most handsome member of the group.
I mean, it's definitely like there's survivor immunity from any repercussions happening. I think we could all agree on that, right?
Yeah. It's the
immunity idol. It's your little personal immunity idol.
Do they have any version of that in Bachelorette or
So yeah, when you go
get your heart early.
So when you
or
go
your
on
rose.
on a one-on-one date, and assuming you don't bomb the one-on-one date, you get a rose, which is like it means you're safe for the next rose ceremony. Also, when you go on a group date, one of the contestants gets the group date rose, which is also like immunity for the next rose ceremony.
So what you're saying is, if I get one of those roses, I can be as much of a dick as I want until the next section of the show.
You know, there's actually a very interesting teaser for this season that a lot of people on like Bachelor Twitter are trying to guess what's happening. But in the previews, the lead, Clayton, says, has anyone ever taken back a rose before? Implying that maybe he gave out a rose and that maybe someone was being a huge like piece of shit and he wants to take the rose back.
Wow.
I know, right?
I can't believe it.
It's so real and organic and cool.
There's nothing deceptively edited about reality shows.
I was gonna talk about this in my rec, but can I just say this now because it's relevant?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so one of those shows I was going to recommend is this like weird new Gordon Ramsay cooking competition called Next Level Chef. That's like pretty bad, but I weirdly like it. So I was watching it on Hulu because who watches live television anymore? Am I right, fellas? So I was watching it on Hulu.
I certainly don't.
And there was like a little disclaimer at the end of the episode.
Diggins, do you?
Right? No one does.
I have never watched in my life.
Nice.
I wanted to pause to see what the disclaimer was because I'm so curious. So it's like a cooking show where people like are eliminated across like the show, right? Like that's how all these like freaking shows work. So there was like a disclaimer at the bottom. It said, some of the decisions that were made that did not affect the outcome of the show were made off camera and with producer input. I'm like, that's interesting. Like they're telling you that not all of this was like, I guess on the up and up, I guess. And that like some producers were like, Gordon Ramsay, let that person go. But it didn't affect the outcome because it's a game show. I just found that weird. I've never seen anything like that on like one of those shows before.
So when you
like
say it had this little disclaimer, did you have to like zoom in the video 100 times to see this printed in 1 pixel or something?
Well, I had to pause it to read the whole thing because it's gone in an instant. Like if I were watching live television, there's no way I would have been able to read that whole thing.
Was there some new law passed that they have to say that? So they're just
right,
like before they made new laws about about medical drugs being sold, and you know that you have to make the disclaimer understandable when they would just have it crammed into 2 seconds or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe there was some new law passed. Who's to say? I just found it very interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing this week.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Next Level
Ceremony.
Chef.
Yeah, Next Level Chef, yeah.
Guys,
so
I have to say, these chefs are next level.
They're pretty good, I think.
I can't wait to see it. I'm excited for everybody's Next Level chefs. And
I think that
they're cool or stupid.
I think that while Raul has been made an early favorite, I think he's going to fall quickly when it turns out that he really can only do well at the top level kitchens, but the bottom level kitchens, once he gets there, he's going to really fail to actually excel. That's what I think. What do you guys think?
Wait, bottom level?
Oh, I'll
like
explain the show during
thing...
the Rex.
Oh, I see a picture of it now. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my god.
I'll explain during Rex, but yeah, it's
who the fuck thought this was? I mean, maybe it is a cool show, and you know what? It could be a cool show. For a second, when you said it, I was like, "That's a weird name to use for Gordon Ramsay. Like, is he known for levels in like the cooking community or in the kitchen? Is he always stacking things? Like, you think you'd give that to someone who's like a video game person or whatever, or like but." It turns out it's not that. It's a completely different reason levels is part of it. That's wild.
Oh, it is wild. It really is.
All right. Well,
I'm excited for 25 years from now when we get the gritty reboot where we take the drama of the Next Level Chef seriously, and Gordon Ramsay seems like he may have shot somebody on the basketball court.
Yeah. You get like what would it be? It'd be like a man moving into a. Well, I mean, Diggins, you don't know what this is yet. Next Level Chef. Have you seen the picture?
No.
Oh, okay. So it's. We'll explain later, or I'll make this joke later, unless I forget.
No, make it now because I don't.
It's just gonna be like, he would like move into like a halfway house or something with 3 separate floors of different like kinds of. I've really seen like what it is, but I assume one's like a fancy kitchen and one's like a country kitchen, or like they're all like different kind of settings, I guess.
It's quality. So the top kitchen is like
okay.
It's like a future kitchen. The middle kitchen is like a kitchen you'd find in like any standard restaurant, and the bottom kitchen is like the worst kitchen imaginable.
So the future kitchen is just like a bunch of drawers with Dippin' Dots in them. It's full of Dippin' Dots.
Wait, they're going to be filming in my kitchen?
Yeah.
Dude, you wish well, no, I guess
it looks like they're going to be filming in like the Luigi's Mansion stage of Super Smash Brothers. It's so funny.
Honestly,
they wish they had your kitchen.
I'm probably going to look at their like worst kitchen and I'll be like, damn, I wish I had that kitchen. I wish I had that much space for chopping.
Well, if the Great One's future, could this one just be like a big old pot with like some fire under it and like cave drawings and shit? Like, because I want to see what the future. Is there a robot in the future kitchen that helps you? Like in Rocky's robot friend. That would be so funny if it's just like this normal kitchen, a not as good kitchen, and a kitchen with like a really pushy robot that's just adding things to your dinner. Oh, I didn't even put that in, but now I have to balance that flavor out.
Guys, I need you all to sign my petition to add the robot back to Rocky 4. I think it's a crime that they took the robot out.
It is, honestly. We need more. There was a point in history where it was just robot friend, like the Fantastic Four had a robot friend. Rocky obviously got his robot friend. Johnny Five was going strong, and we don't have that anymore. I'm trying to think of what's the closest we have to that.
To a robot friend in like a TV show?
Or no, like I guess now it would be like some sort of fucking app or something. Where like the app is like
it's
something
your
that in
Siri
future
equivalent.
shows what do people. Yeah, right. I guess it would be Siri or like a Cortana like hologram kind of thing. But yeah, like what is our like thing that everyone has in their house that signifies it is the future? You know?
Oh yeah, definitely like an Amazon Home Siri Cortana kind of thing where you talk to it and it does things in your house. That's the future thing now.
I think that's right. Yeah. And robot homes are so much cooler. Although I know they do robot homes on well, I mean, there was that movie Robot Home with the person from Married with Children. I think it was called Smart House on Disney Channel. It was a DCOM.
That sounds right.
And like, what if the house was mean? And in this one, it's I was gonna say like there are robot like grocery store workers and like robot mail and hospital deliverers. And then obviously Amazon's run by robots and stuff. Like they got those little robots that pick up the giant stacks of whatever, tape and like pencils. And then they so the robots are coming back. We got more robots.
I'm honestly glad they're coming back.
Changing my prediction. Year of the robots, baby. No, that's not. We didn't get that far. You guys, we got to do the predictions and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
But first we got to look at the past.
So the way we did it last time was, we had like a, we did the past stuff, and then as we read those categories, we would read like what we got last time.
Yep.
So we would guess how correctly everyone did on their predictions, and then we make next year's predictions. And let me tell you, some of them are pretty good.
I think so.
But it's going to be great. I can't wait to see what your predictions are, guys.
Well,
I can't wait to see what your guys' are either.
Some of them may surprise you.
They must, right? For sure.
Mine will not. Mine will be very unsurprising.
Because you're a very predictable and boring person.
Obviously.
Well, let's do it, you guys.
Let's do it.
Let's do. So we got 4. Yeah, we have
5.
4. Right? Look back. Predict. Oh no. Sorry. Yeah, we have 4 things we're gonna cover in the first segment, and then 5 in the second one.
Well, wait. We got to do the looking back, looking forward.
Right. So we have 4 looking back questions.
Well, no. First we got to look back at looking forward to 2021. Go over our old predictions. And reveal
that's what I'm saying.
Who is the biggest brained genius man.
We do those as we read the questions that are
Do
the
we?
look backs. Yeah, well, I mean, that's how we did it the other day. We
just went through all
incorrect.
of them.
That's not how we did. I'm fine with doing it that way now.
Yeah, we just went through all of them. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah,
absolutely not what we did.
Okay, maybe I just imagined like we're saying, nobody knows the true origins of last week's podcast.
I guess Nando is going to be surprised by everything in this podcast.
I mean, I have changed some of mine to make it a little interesting. But so I guess, yeah, I think it's kind of fun. Oh wait, but they don't match up.
And we lose.
They're not all the same.
We lose the full who is the most right boy and who is the most wrong boy.
Well, what a casualty of the whole thing. Oh well, I guess we'll just have to. No, okay. I see what you're saying. I thought we could slot them in, but yeah. Well then, you guys, let's look at those predictions.
All right, so we're gonna look back at looking forward. All right. So we had 5 categories that were looking at 2021. And the first category was what dies in 2021. Each of us gave a prediction. 2 of us wrong. One of us was right.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking I thought this was our single worst category, but I guess that's something else.
No, the next one is our single worst category.
Speak for yourself.
So it does have some pretty egregious ones from you and me, Diggins, because I said Fortnite and you said Marvel, and those were both incredibly wrong. Incredibly wrong.
But wait. I remember. Diggins is like, Marvel died for me or something like that.
Right, like the discourse.
Yeah,
you felt that Marvel discourse was really hurt in 2021.
No. What I was saying was. My prediction was not necessarily that it would become a financial disaster, but that it would become like something that in the general internet discourse people were tired of. And then I admitted, even by that metric, I'm still very wrong.
Darn.
Oh, okay. That's what it was.
And Fortnite, still going strong.
Fortnite's the best.
As far as we know, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the top played games. Maybe it'll go away at some point, but not 2021 was not the year. Then, Nando, you could take a victory lap for the Snyderverse being dead in 2021.
Yeah, especially since in the week since we recorded the first one of these, and now Ben Affleck did an interview where he's like, I hated it. I don't want to be Batman ever again.
I hated working with Joss Whedon.
Yeah. I hated Batman. Those muggers just wanted to kill the Waynes heroically, Yeah. You can never connect with the character.
Yeah, Ben Affleck came out and said, actually, I think it's good when billionaires die. I think people should... Now, again, to be clear, mostly Nibbigging is not endorsing these views. This is just what Ben Affleck said. He was just saying, I think that the most actionable way to make the world a better place is if everybody gets a gun, goes out and shoots all the Jeff Bezoses of the world. That's what Ben Affleck said. I'm not endorsing that.
Yep. It was a very strange... He started the sentence with, guys, I think we might live in a society... And then ended it with, I don't know, this, Bane speech where he said, take everything, it's yours. Remember when Bane was kind of, fake, populist for a second in that movie? That was interesting.
He was, kind of, sort of, Occupy Wall Street.
Yeah.
That was weird.
He was what the people that made... Yeah, he was like what Christopher Nolan thought Occupy Wall Street is. And then, yeah, that is probably what the caricature was on Fox News. Some people were, what's Occupy Wall Street? He robbed the whole stock market, let all the prisoners out of jail.
They talk in weird, high-pitched Winnie the Pooh voices.
Yeah. Winnie the Pooh, by the way, public domain character as of a couple days ago, I think.
But only the book version, not the Disney version. If he's wearing a red shirt, you can still get sued.
So if he looks like Xi Jinping, then this is no good.
That's exactly it, yeah.
TJ, no! Now we'll never be able to put this podcast out in China.
Oh, TJ,
no! Do an interview or make a statement in Mandarin apologizing about Hong Kong. It's not a real place.
Oh, boy.
No one's ever been there. Doesn't count. I don't think that's what they're saying. I don't think that's the line about Hong Kong. But if it was, it'd be a fun line. But yeah, where was I going with this? Oh yeah, no. So no more Snyderverse. Seems like if anything, it's gonna be the like, I don't know, Aquamaniverse kind of. That feels like the vibe we're getting from the rest of these.
I actually think, and this will go into like one of my predictions for 2022, but I think DC is okay with not having like the single unified universe that Marvel's going for, or even like whatever Marvel is trying to do. I think DC's okay with like, we make movies, it's ambiguous, it's fine.
I think that'll last for about a week. Before they go like, actually, what if Robert Pattinson fought the Joker from like Arthur
Joaquin
Fleck
Phoenix?
one.
What if he fought Joaquin Phoenix?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they'll never keep this up, but for the time being, I think it's actually for the better.
Yeah, I agree. But that's 2022. We're still on 2021. So 1 point to Nando.
1 point to me, correct.
For what dies in 2021. So this was the category where we were all terrible. So this would be the biggest bomb of 2021. I said the Snyderverse, which wasn't a bomb despite dying.
Well, you said the Snyder Cut.
The
Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
Sorry, the Snyder Cut.
What was the like addendum, or I guess like sum up given by our listener Roger? I forget what it was. This one was funny, I think.
Snyder Cut came and went, but while it was here, it was streamed and talked about a good bit. Hard to judge a bomb on mystery box streaming numbers, but it was clear the Snyder Cut was more interesting than the Whedon version and surpassed the quote bomb level.
Okay.
So it wasn't quite a bomb.
DJ, if it were me judging it, I would give it to you because it was a terrible movie I hated watching. But
no, thank you.
It was the bomb as far as Diggins was concerned. The bomb. It was cool. He liked it. He liked when those women sang a Norway song or whatever or like in Iceland.
Whatever it was.
Yep.
Yeah,
I definitely remember that scene.
You remember that when like Aquaman goes into the water?
Yeah,
there's like
so
a
dumb.
4-minute fucking song in like some other language about how cool he is.
I actually do remember, yes.
So Diggins' prediction for the biggest bomb of 2021 was Ghostbusters. But unfortunately, while flawed, made $150 million worldwide and on a $75 million budget. So not quite bomb level. And then the bonus nuclear take for what would the biggest bomb of 2021 would be, it was Spider-Man No Way Home, which basically the exact opposite.
Listen.
Yes, I'm listening.
I don't have a defense.
No retort? All right.
It's it would have been a wild pick, you know?
If I had been right, you all would be being like, damn, what a called shot. Like, you really went out on a limb and it paid off. And I think that's what we should focus on.
I guess.
Yeah.
If you say so.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, you'll get to be the most right eventually, so congratulations or whatever.
Maybe. Who knows? I mean, we will do that. That will be what happens. But I was trying to think of a way I could weasel into winning, but I didn't even...
Unfortunately, no, Nando, because this one is it's egregious, but not even being your fault. You had Morbius as being the biggest bomb of 2021, a movie that did not come out.
I think that counts. This is such a bomb. They were like, don't even... Honestly,
we can't do it.
It should give Diggins even less points, because what they said was they were like, we don't want to put this out because Spider-Man's so much of not a bomb. It is pushed Morbius into hell. So, like... Diggins, stole a point from me with his prediction being so wrong.
I don't think that they said those words.
That is exactly what they said. They said Spider-Man has become so strong that he picked up Morbius and power-bombed him through a couple of floors, and now he is an April movie or something. I mean, now he is a January movie was I guess where he was, and he has been power-bombed to April, but... Yeah, it's the greatest movie ever made.
I will say you can blame me for that prediction being so wrong, just because I do believe that they moved Morbius to punish me personally, because now it is very close to my birthday, and I will probably have to see it on or around my birthday for these podcasts.
Birthday trip! We should all go. We should do like a live podcast from a movie theater. We'll live podcast Morbius.
What would it even be? Oh, man, that would be so good. We'd just all be in silence crying the whole time. We were wrong.
It would just be like, this is the greatest cinematic achievement of all time.
He's skinny now. He's ripped. Oh, my God. The vampire serum
he's
worked.
Our neighborhood Dr. Morbius, or whatever. Dr. Michael Morbius. Whatever the hell he says in that trailer.
Michael Morbius.
He's not Venom, guys. He's not Venom.
That movie's gonna come out.
He has a kind of bat radar.
Some kind of bat radar.
He could use purple to fly. He's the strongest vampire sexy guy.
I like
now, Nando,
Nando, I like how your crying voice has become just like, I don't know, a small fairy or something.
Yeah, I kind of switched it to like some sort of little Lord Fauntleroy child. Bring me my Morbius, Daddy. I want to see my Morbius, please. Jared Leto in from the dungeon. Did he lock himself in because he's a weirdo?
Nando, can you tell me about how your feelings on berries and cream?
Remember that guy? That was weird, wasn't it?
Oh, man.
But what did I say, DJ? What was my pick?
Well, so Morbius, that was you.
My nuclear one. Didn't I have
a
nuclear one?
You had a nuclear one, but real quick, just before we leave Morbius, there's nothing stopping you from having it be your biggest bomb of 2022. That's all I'm going to say.
I know.
You can double down.
I don't think it's a bomb. I feel like now I'm looking back at it, like it couldn't have been the biggest bomb because no one expects it to not be a bomb, and the expectations play into the bomminess of it.
That's fair. Yeah, I understand that. So your nuclear one, Nando, was that James Bond, No Time to Die, would be the biggest bomb. Which, not that kind of bomb, Nando.
Yeah.
You think you're so clever.
He got hit by the biggest bomb, maybe.
Wasn't really the biggest bomb. It was just a bunch of smaller bombs that blew up an island when combined together.
That's
Spoilers
true.
for No Time to Die if you haven't seen it.
Remember when they made the biggest explosion ever in that last one, Inspector, and they publicized it as it's the biggest explosion in any movie. And then
we just kind of watch it from a distance
exciting.
while nothing happens.
Yeah. So cool. That movie ruled. The James Bond movie is a bomb in the sense that it easily could be my this year's remember when James Bond happened in 2021, and it'd be like, oh yeah, that's right. However, it did make some money, so I can't quite give it a bomb.
Also,
and
you liked it.
It was good. Yeah.
I did like it.
Hard to undercut that.
I liked
right?
Speed Racer. That doesn't mean it didn't bomb. I'll
but
acknowledge a bomb.
What I mean is there's no definition by which you can be like, this was a bomb. It was fairly well received. It did well financially. You don't personally dislike it. There's nothing.
Yeah, I just
like
wasn't
me with
so woke,
Just like me with the Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, I do think Ben Shapiro probably told me it bombed because
did he?
is killing James Bond. Yeah,
bastard.
That's correct, Nando. I think. Hypothetically speaking, you have a series called James Bond. Shouldn't it logically follow then that the main character is the James Bond? Instead, we're handing out this 007 title to women and people of color, and I think that's wrong. I think the traditional white masculinity of James Bond needs to be kept in the hands of progressively whiter and manlier men.
Oh man, Jared Leto then. That's next James Bond. It's the only way. I would say Ben Shapiro, remember that time you came and complained that the movie, it's like a power fantasy for men specifically, and it can't be a woman for that reason, even though you find Letitia very, very attractive and he's a very beautiful woman. But I just don't think it's James Bond because,
you're right.
There has to be a male power fantasy involved.
You're right. He actually said a whacker thing than me trying to make fun of him. So.
You're a bad fake Ben Shapiro, Diggins.
Exactly.
Listen, I said this last time. I've listened to Ben Shapiro speak for 2 seconds willingly ever. So I can only be so good at imitating him.
You're not too far off.
You just need to be more misogynistic with your takes.
I feel like your sentences need to be a little longer. That's the thing that I always I think he loves to get lost in his fake details so that by the end of the sentence you're like, I don't remember what we were talking about. I'm not going to really bring it up with this little nerd. But
I do think I'm a little better at a Jordan Peterson, if you'll allow me.
I would love it. Yeah,
fine.
And then do your whatever that other guy is, Steven Crowder. I want no.
Oh God,
I've never heard that man speak, so I've got nothing there. But my Jordan Peterson is very simple. It's just a Heidi ho, Jordan Peterson the Frog here.
Ooh. I like that Jordan Peterson. I hope he doesn't get karate chopped by his pig wife, Miss Piggy. That is. Now I want this guy. This guy seems pretty cool. So yeah, I don't know. James Bond wasn't a bomb, that's for sure. What was our next one?
All right, so our next category, which is the distinct category of the only thing that I got correct, so that's fun, is 2021 will be the year of the blank. I said 2020 will be the year of Disney, and, just killed it, right? We got Spider-Man, we got Shang-Chi, we got Black Widow, Eternals did fine, we got the TV shows, we got sports. Just killed it.
Sounds like you're describing the year of Marvel. I don't know what Disney gets for that. Like,
the parks reopened.
They
true.
didn't open their horrible hotel.
The big park had the good fortune to be in one of the states that cared the least about controlling the virus, so they got to do whatever they wanted.
Yep. Ron DeSantis cut the ribbon and then coughed all over it on the opening day.
Yeah.
But
this is a real underdog story, guys. All it took was one of the largest media empire the world has ever known
Yep.
that owns 75% of all of our cultural output at the moment. And who would have guessed that they would have had a good year? Like, damn, DJ, you really nailed it.
I crushed it.
See, I actually want to go back on this. I don't think, I feel like if anything, this year wasn't great for Disney. It was great for Marvel. But,
who is owned by Disney? Come
right,
on.
But, they're all owned by, one guy in, a bunker somewhere. It's the specific branch of Disney that won. They won the year. But, what did Star Wars do this year? What did, Disney or Pixar do this year? They had some decent movies, but I don't think they were, big winners.
Was there a Mandalorian season this year?
No, we just got Boba Fett for one day, and it was the bad one. But
so this is what it's funny because Roger put this in the. In fact, it was under the description for most accurate prediction overall. Just the Marvel branch alone would have been in contention for taking the title, but add in the sports division, ESPN got SEC football TV rights deal and NCAA football playoffs, and the theme parks for all the stuff you guys said, and they get a juggernaut of 2021.
Makes sense. All right. I'll give it to him.
Speaking of, did you guys hear that Apple is in talks to buy ESPN?
No, but that makes sense. Didn't they want it? They were trying to. What was it they were buying? I forget. I thought it was something else.
They were trying to get Sunday Ticket from the NFL, which currently is DirecTV, because they're not in the football game at all, or really sports. Period. And I think they want to get into the sports game. Just because there's such a money opportunity there, even though they're already worth $3 trillion or whatever. But yeah, apparently they want to acquire ESPN from Disney, which that would be an interesting sale. I
kind of like it, right? It's kind of better. Just taking things from Disney feels like a good idea.
Taking things from one of our 6 megacorps that own everything and giving it to another of our 6 megacorps that own everything.
Yeah, that's the problem. But
right? Yeah.
I feel like this is gonna.
Like it.
I feel like this is gonna end in Disney just buying Apple, and then they'll just be even bigger.
Right?
You mean Apple buying Disney?
No.
Oh, because Apple's worth way more than Disney is.
Yeah, I don't know how it's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen.
Oh, okay, I got you. So that was mine, my sole correction and best prediction and best prediction. Mm-hmm. Diggins had the year of outside and trying new things, which I think for the most part. Not counting December.
Yeah, what was this one? I remember this description, I think, being
thanks to the marvel of modern medicine, we got a vaccine and everyone took it. Checks notes. A solid amount of people took it, paving the way for a return in some semblance of normalcy, travel, and outdoor things. Shoves Omicron into a closet labeled 2022 problems.
Oh, never mind. It's mine that says this then.
Yes, yours is the one.
Let's do it.
Okay. So 2021 will be the year of martial arts. Stop the count. Maybe if 2021 ended a little bit sooner, Mortal Kombat and Shang-Chi and the lack of Spider-Man could have carried the day. But with the Snake Eyes flop and Cobra Kai happening in January, it is tough to say that 2021 was the year of martial arts.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
Sorry, Nando.
It's okay. It's more of a bummer. It's not a bummer that I'm wrong. Obviously, that's a huge problem in for the world. But the idea that it wasn't the year of martial arts, like so many of those martial arts properties kind of dropped the ball. It's a bummer.
Yeah.
But Shang-Chi did well enough that as far as I'm concerned, martial arts will probably at least kind of continue to be in movies. So pretty good.
Martial arts
Good.
will probably continue existing in 2022.
Yeah, right?
Right? Like,
What a bold prediction.
well, I'd be worried that it'll just all be Shang-Chi. We'll get one Shang-Chi movie a year, and then he'll do the martial arts, and then all the other martial arts studios will get like gobbled up underneath it, and then kind of recycled into Shang-Chi. But I'll take one good one. I don't know. It's good enough for me.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, so next up we had the winner of 2021. This is a great one. So I predicted Lord of the Rings, the TV show, which didn't come out. So that's fun for me. Diggins had, say it with me, everybody.
Let's hear it.
Dune.
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 Dune. Dune. Dune.
Yeah.
Dune.
I bet that sounded horrible.
I kind
that
of
must be
stopped halfway
terrible.
through because I felt bad, but I want to get in on the last Dune. Yeah, Dune.
Would you like to talk about this, Diggins?
Yeah,
Correctly predicting the winner of 2021.
Well, as Roger so eloquently put it in his breakdown, Dune was one of the best performing movies of the year, cracked the top 10, and was just generally both a financial and critical success. Lots of people liked it, both critics and lay people. It was quite popular.
Yeah. Us rubes all liked it. To me and
the
TJ
normies.
liked it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, if one considers how far it rose to get here, Dune has been, like, infamously for decades now considered an unfilmable book that just, like, could not be made into a watchable movie. And was a huge, like, sci-fi thing that lots of people loved and has been very influential, but very much, like, kind of contained in that niche. Like, if you weren't someone who reads sci-fi books, like, Dune was probably not on your radar. And now, Dune is a big franchise that is already greenlit for a sequel. Probably going to get that full trilogy. Was a hugely successful movie. I mean, listen, when we talk about underdogs, who would have thought that Dune would be up here? I would have. That's why I predicted it. And that's why I'm the best predictor for 2021.
Well, I mean, kind of. Like, it's a good... I was surprised by how much I liked Dune and how much it made me like Timothée Chalamet and his little PlayStation modding hands or whatever. What was the thing
Xbox.
he did that we just...
He mods Xbox 360 controllers.
Yeah, that was pretty good. And it had all the hunks. You know, all the hunks were here, so that's great.
We had a hunk overload.
It really... So many hunks.
All different kinds of hunks too. You like your waifish twinks? Well, Timothée Chalamet's right there.
Oh God!
You prefer
I don't think that could be a hunk at all.
You prefer your big burly men? I mean, we've got your Jason Momoas. We've got your we've got your Dave
Brolin.
Batistas. You've got your Josh Brolins. You prefer something maybe a little in the midway point there. Perhaps not a waifish twink. A little hunkier than that, but not like full-out muscle men. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I present Sir Oscar Isaac.
Yeah. And what's his name? The other guy, too. Javier Bardem. Underrated hunk. Hunk you forgot was even in that movie.
The
not
DILF.
Like you, but people.
The DILF hunk.
Yeah, so lots of that's great. What else was great about that movie? It had that guy whose eyes turned into computers. That's a meme. You see that on the internet every so often. That guy was weird.
Had that one weird spider human thing that we don't get a good look at. Loved that.
It had that guy who, what was it? He had like a theremin or something He was conducting the whole army. That guy was fun.
Just, lots of great stuff going on here.
Absolutely. Guys, what was mine? Was mine good?
So yours was not great. Yours was Invincible. So I'll read this one. Similar to Dune, Invincible went from obscurity to a thing and got more seasons greenlit. Unlike Dune, it didn't crack the top 10 of TV shows in 2021 at popularity or discourse. Did it lose 2021? No. Did it win 2021? Not exactly. So
yeah, it's a shame because it's a good thing. It's a very
good
and I
thing.
think
We all watched
it's
and
not a
liked
winner.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's going strength to strength. Maybe next year will be a tier. I mean, I'm not gonna predict that, but it'll have a future maybe, and it'll come back and everybody will be like, oh man, this was good. A lot of times it takes 2 seasons for a show to really catch the public's attention, but I don't even know if they're making another one in 2022 or it's going to take a year to come out because of pandemic stuff. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if it was 2023 before we get
That's
another
interesting.
season. Yeah,
You didn't think about that.
I don't know. But it was great. Maybe next time. Yeah.
And then finally, for our last category, it was blank will surprise everyone for being blank. The Winds of Winter will surprise everyone for being released. Got that wrong.
Never. It's not happening. He's not going to do it. He wants to make his video game. He's done.
Listen, we'll get to the 22 predictions.
That video
all right?
game's coming out in like a month.
February.
That's also not coming out. He's going to figure out something else in the next couple of days to get inspired by and then not finish the video game.
That's not on him, though.
He doesn't work actively on the video game. Basically, he laid out story concepts for them at the start, and he has not been working on it since.
Yes.
Liar. He's in charge of testing. He's working out some bugs. He's got a whole team working under him that's specifically just hot fixes for problems, and so he's thrown himself into his work to avoid doing Game of Thrones stuff.
No, you can't take this from me. You can't take this from me, Nando. I'm so looking forward to DJ finally playing a FromSoft game, and I, as Sean Connery would put it, I get to be the Shempai to his Kohai.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I showed you guys that, right? That movie where Sean Connery speaks a bunch of Japanese.
Yeah.
Yes. But I also would have bought that as just being something he says in some other movie. Like in The Rock, just a bit where it's like, I'm your senpai, son. Live with me, and I don't know what senpai means.
It's like teacher, basically.
Just any teacher.
Calling someone your
mentor.
it represents a closer relationship. It's like your mentor.
Okay.
But it has a very specific, I feel like, connotation, like calling someone your senpai. I don't know.
There's a level of admiration in there, I think. That's in the cultural context of using the term.
Do you spell it with an M or an N?
M. Senpai.
No, it's
SCNPAI.
Incorrect. It's an M.
What? No, it's not.
Killing me. It seems like it's both. Or there are different words.
It's fucking N. We're saying N, like
both.
Not.
N as in senpai.
According to the internet, it can be either.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Don't test me.
I've always seen it with an M, personally, but
yeah,
I've run in different circles.
We're Berenstein Bearsing it. It could be either way.
Yeah. DJ, you learned it from anime, and I learned it from Sean Connery.
There we go. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Anyway,
what were we talking about? The prediction.
Winds of Winter
will be good. Yes, right.
Did not come out.
Not happening.
Not happening.
Not even a hint of coming out. It's not like you just missed it.
Missed it by a mile.
What's the name of that author who died and then his son finished all his books?
Frank Herbert of Dune.
Yeah.
Was it him? I thought it was the
fantasy
fantasy guy.
You're thinking of Robert Jordan, The Wheel of Time, but it's not his son who finished the books. It was just some other writer.
Yeah, I mixed those two up. So yeah, I think George R. R. Martin's banking on that. And not to say that he thinks he's going to die soon or anything, but he's just I don't know, man. Someone else is going to finish these books. And
my man's trying to run out the clock. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think
he gets really annoyed when people say that, actually.
It's
probably
rude.
Probably because,
someone's dead.
They're talking about him dying. So yeah, he's probably
I'm not speculating whether he's going to die. I just think he's given up on himself ever writing it. And he's like, somebody else will finish it when I'm dead. That could be in, 100 years. He's got
I don't
all the
know.
money.
I
He could
feel
get,
like
new body parts and stuff.
maybe that was the case originally, but then he watched the TV show and he got to the end and he was like, this can't be my legacy.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, maybe the House of the Dragons will get him back.
Uh-huh.
Maybe we'll
talk
have
about
more
that
to say
maybe in the
about that
future.
later.
Yeah.
Perhaps we will. Perhaps we will.
And what was my thing?
Well, so Diggins was movies will surprise everyone for being back. Again, it's like correct-ish. Like, don't count the end of 2021 into 2022.
I think you'll find that in December of 2021 we had the biggest hit of the year. So I don't think there's an ish there at all.
I mean, that is true. It was a huge hit.
Yeah, it's almost like they were back right up until the end of 2021, and then like when 2022 happened, it was like, actually, we might not be back.
Yeah.
We're gonna go.
Yeah. So, all right. Sorry for saying that was not the case.
I accept your apology.
Okay, good. And then Nando, what's up?
I remembered what mine was. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I got
Would
this
you like
one
to
right.
say it because it's so great
It's that
and
I
hilarious?
thought absolute. What's it? It's not. No, it's not absolute carnage. Let There Be Carnage would surprise everyone by being pretty good. Is that what I said? Did I
that
hedge
is what
it?
you said.
Okay. Yeah, and I think it's not really that, but people think that, and they will believe that, and good for them.
Nando willing to compromise his values of thinking that movie was terrible to try
really
to nab a win here.
I mean, I'm not trying to pretend it was any good, but it did, some people seem to think so. I mean, they saw it. They went in droves. That was really when movies became back. Was it before or after Shang-Chi? I can't remember, actually.
After.
It was after? Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Still-
Shang-Chi
still-
teed it
still
up
there,
for a
though.
home run. It was perfect. It's a great movie that will probably maybe get a sequel. I don't know. Have they said anything about like Venom 3?
I mean,
Let There
The
Be
I feel like
Venom
it's all but
Sky?
implied, right?
The Threnum, the lethal protector.
Oh yeah, the E would switch. The E would turn over into a 3. That would be beautiful.
Just like Despicable Me 3.
Mm-hmm. I feel like if it comes out and it's not just like another Venom guy, I'll be kind of disappointed. Like if it's like anti-Venom or some other guy where it's like, oh no, there's another Venom, and you run around and they fight at the end. Like if they actually innovate or like come up with a villain that's kind of cool to fight, I'll be kind of upset.
Well, we already had the hinted at that other guy who doesn't seem like he'll be any interesting at all.
Yeah, exactly. That's perfect. That's exactly what I want. Remember when this one was like, and it's got Scream in it, and you're like, okay, that's kind of something. And then she was really not in it, and she was maybe the worst part. That was fun.
Yeah, that was not great.
I did like that detective guy, actually. He was awful. That character was so dumb. I mean, everybody in that movie was like stone cold dumb. It's rare that there's a movie that dumb where like Eddie draws a church with his right hand, and then he's like, what could this be? Some sort of little house on a paper? And then he doesn't learn the clue that Venom's giving him for the mystery. It's kind of like, I don't know if you guys saw this. It must have just been last night. There's a clip on YouTube, like one of the Last Week Tonight web exclusives. Did either of you guys see this?
I did not know.
No.
So John Oliver's just like ranting about how much he hates the Da Vinci Code and how it's bad. And I remember it being pretty bad. I didn't, and they did apparently make a third one. I know we talked about this. This came up, although I don't know if this was on one that aired or not, if it was on the Lost podcast. But it was like they made 3 of them, and the first one was all about this mystery. What could it be? And it was Apple, and it was like super obvious if you like thought about it for a second. It's kind of like that. Yeah, where it's like, yeah, it's church, buddy. Like it's pretty funny. I would watch the John Oliver clip because the clip also shows the bit where Robert Langdon, symbology expert, deciphers the puzzle for like after a whole movie. It's wild. But anyway, yeah, the Venom movie not really good, but people liked it. So hey, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. So yeah, that was it. That was our 2021 year in review. Diggins won with the most correct guesses.
Incredible.
I had the distinction of getting the best one with Disney, and the least accurate one was my Lord of the Rings and Winds of Winter, as well as Diggins' nuclear take of Spider-Man.
Yep.
So all
Listen.
over the map.
Listen, we shouldn't focus on individual performances. We should focus on the overall hit rate. And I think we can all agree again, the person with the highest overall hit rate is objectively a better human being.
I agree.
I can't help but agree with that too. What if for this thing, when we do our predictions, I just scooped all of Diggins' ones from us, recorded this? That would be so funny. I don't remember what they were. But that would be funny if we did that.
That would be funny as heck.
I changed some of them, so...
You think they're better than your other ones?
The game is on, Diggins. Let's see if I can come up with what yours would maybe be. What your second choice would be.
Yugi boy
in the blockchain. You guys. No one responded to that on the Discord thing, but I loved it.
I liked it. I don't know. There's nothing to add. It was perfect.
I'd actually seen it earlier and was going to send it to the Discord, but I was like,
Yeah,
you did it. For those of us, just so because this is an audio medium and you guys can't see this Discord we're looking at.
I hope they could put it together in their head, kind of, what's going on. Like,
it's a meme of Yu-Gi-Oh! When Yugi is looking at his grandpa in a TV or whatever when Pegasus has done something to him. And is going, Pegasus, what did you do to my grandfather? And Pegasus says...
Oh, he's been minted into the blockchain, my dear Yugi boy. And it's... in the real show, it's even dumber than that, honestly. He uses his magic eye to steal him via a television, like a TV box, like the Ring. This was back in the height of, like, the TV's gonna eat you. And the TV, there's an evil person in the TV days. But yeah, and then Yugi went into the TV and did a duel against Pegasus. It was in the Shadow Realm, but I'm pretty sure this took place in the TV. And then Yugi's grandpa was still captured by Pegasus, was put into a playing card. And in the playing card, it was like him trying to get out of the playing card, like a picture of him, like, ugh. It was great. Love Yu-Gi-Oh!
I have to say, Diggins, that was a really good Yugi impression.
I mean, it was just my generic, like, young child voice.
It sounded like a good Yugi to me. That's all I'm saying.
Now do a Joey impression.
Yeah, do Joey.
Use non-binary? That's cool.
Who is he talking to in that case? Duke Devlin? That seems like something. That seems like what
No, that's just a meme I've seen. It's just Joey from Yu-Gi-Oh! Just saying those words.
I'm just trying to think of who is the most progressive... Like, who is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Character that I'm like, yeah, maybe Pegasus. Could be any of them.
Maybe.
I wouldn't expect Tristan to be so forward thinking in general.
Yeah, Tristan's always struck me as kind of a troglodyte.
Yeah. I don't know, Joey. I think there's only two genders. Like, that seems like words that would come out of Tristan's mouth.
Oh, my God.
You guys, I mean, we don't like Tristan. We're not fans. Out of all the four friends, he's maybe the third best, except for Taya. But Taya's weird. The show doesn't know what to do with Taya.
Taya is saddled with the responsibility of being the girl on the show, which just
talking about friendship a lot. Like, thankless role. And it's funny because they get another girl. They get My Valentine, who's like not quite in the team, but is pretty much like in there. Like, she doesn't walk around with them, but she like works with them, and her thing is just like hot and sexy.
Yeah, she gets to be the girl but sexy. The other role for women in these kinds of shows.
So bad. But you guys, let's do some looking forward to looking backward part. Let's us now look backward, and I'm looking forward to it. We're going to talk about what the biggest things were of 2021.
Woo!
And
maybe they'll be the same ones as before. Maybe they'll be different. Who knows?
Only us, because the listeners haven't heard it.
Only we know. You guys, I think last time we did it, it's Diggins, DJ, and me. We're going to rotate that. So we're going to say the first one, it's blank, was the biggest failure of 2021. DJ, what do you got?
All right, I think that Snake Eyes was the biggest failure of 2021.
What?
Oh, my
no
God.
Way! DJ, you said that?
Yeah, I know.
Do that
shocking,
time.
Shocking.
Nah, I had to get it out of my system. Yeah, that movie stunk. That movie was real bad.
It stunk, and it was supposed to set up the whole Joe-verse or whatever.
The second Joe-verse.
Yeah. the Joe-verse rebooted.
You guys starting a Joey-verse? Oh, shucks.
Joey Wheeler.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about, right? A
You're
Joey
not allowed
verse?
into the Joey-verse. You don't have enough star points.
Aw,
Go
man.
duel My Valentine or Bandit Keith or whatever and get some star points and come back and you be in the Joey-verse.
What if I summon the Red Eyes Black Dragon?
It's actually not that good of a card. So that's not going to be
really
enough.
isn't.
You're
It
gonna have
was
to
pretty good at
polymerization
the
it or
start,
something.
but there's been a lot of inflation,
Yeah.
power inflation over the years that makes it
like-
not
it's-
so great.
It's like, what, a 2200 attack dragon that you have to use 8 coins to summon or something? It's insanely, weak. Let's see. I mean, it has a cool name, though. Can't deny that. And if you use the old-timey card, you could turn it into, Grandpa. Remember that?
No, I used the Time Wizard with the baby
Yeah.
dragon to make the ancient dragon.
Oh, yeah,
whatever.
you're right. That's right. So the Red Eyes Black Dragon, it's a 7-star, so it's a still 2-card summon for a 2400 attack, 2000 defense dragon. Dragon
that's not
normal, a
good.
ferocious dragon with a deadly attack. Yeah, that is the absolute bottom of what a 7-star monster you'd be expected to do with it. There is a legendary Red Eyes Black Dragon. Okay. I'm going to read you a modern Yu-Gi-Oh card, okay? Oh, wait, this might be fake. Oh, no, this seems real. Oh, no, this is fake. Damn it, this is fake.
Oh, man.
Bummer.
Don't find fake cards.
I got to admit, when you invited me on the podcast today to talk about the Joey-verse, I wasn't expecting the third degree about my deck.
What was the deal with your deck? Did you have a theme? Was it just the cards that Yugi threw away?
It was poor cards. It was the poorest cards you could find. Those
Yeah,
were
it
Joey's
was.
cards.
It was the cards they wanted to show off that weren't the best cards. That was the theme of my deck.
I'm trying to think. You had one of the cards you had that I always remember that I had the most trouble with, just conceptually, was a guy whose whole thing was kind of punching. He looked like a Rocky Balboa type or something, and he was so useless. Why did you even have Baby Dragon in your deck? I mean, just for that one thing?
It cost 30 cents.
Yeah, I guess that's true. There was because I don't think he got the Time Lord until later. I don't think that was an original Joey card.
Do you remember there was an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where, Joey just kept losing? Joey, you remember this. You just kept losing over and over and over again, and you were getting so demoralized, and you were forgive me if this impersonation is bad. If I had great cards like Yugi, I'd be over the moon with my victories. And then Yugi was like, hey, Joey, you just gotta believe in yourself. Give me your deck. I'll show you what it can do. And then he, trashes everyone with your deck. You remember that episode?
Wasn't really the self-esteem builder that Yugi might have meant it to be.
Right, it's it turns out you're a dog shit player. It's not your deck. that was
Joey,
the message.
I have one question for you. This is my one question I've always wanted to ask Joey. I'm going to ask this to anybody in the Yu-Gi-Oh verse. Well, it has to be one of the kids. So, at school, when you guys, I assume maybe go once or twice every year before the whole thing kicks in, whatever it is. Are you guys the kids who sit in the corner and play Yu-Gi-Oh cards and no one interfaces with you? Or are you all humongous rock stars who sell out Madison Square Garden and play Yu-Gi-Oh? Because it doesn't feel like it's either one or the other, and I've always been confused by that.
Oh yeah, we's actually go to a high school where they're very much not into the whole card playing thing, even though it seems to be what the rest of the world's about. So that's why Kay is always going on about the friendship, because we literally don't have any other friends.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of
Does
sense
make
to me.
sense.
But yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh definitely rules the universe. There's fucking tournaments on blimps. It's awesome. They had a tournament in the metaverse once. They got sucked into it or something.
Oh, yeah.
And some of them were cards and some of them weren't. And I feel like Tristan got turned into a little robot monkey. I love Yu-Gi-Oh. It's so dumb. But you guys, Snake Eyes, not really good, huh?
No, and no, but maybe a Joey verse. If we get all the
If we could
Joeys
get a
together,
Joey,
maybe
yeah.
we can have a Joey verse.
I mean,
I don't even know if they'd let G.I. Joe into it. If they get G.I. Joey or something.
Joey, would you let G.I. Joe into the Joey verse? How do you feel about G.I. Joe?
Yeah.
is there a G.I. Joe Yu-Gi-Oh card?
I think you might have it. I want to say there's a cyber army guy that's pretty basic dude with gun. So maybe that.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Then I think about it.
All right, well, take it under consideration. Hopefully, G.I. Joe can get some consideration for being in the Joeyverse. I'm sure he'd really appreciate it.
I will say, in contrast to definitely Nando, DJ, I don't know if you think this. I don't think that Snake Eyes was the worst movie this year.
What do you think was the worst movie? Well, see, there's like worst movie, but then failure. And I really do think the failure for the Joeyverse to become a thing is part of that, because they tried so hard.
So you're saying, like, there was so much expectation on the corporate side, not on the consumer side. I don't think any of us thought this movie would be good.
I didn't think it would be good, but I do remember they hired, like, a lot of really big people for it. Like
Henry Golding's a star. Like,
well, that, but also, like, martial arts choreographers and stuff. Like, and it was like, oh, man, they're really going to do it. This is going to be cool as hell. And then they edited it all weird and that. Flame Swordsman, that's another Joey card. I have a list online.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? That's like your bread and butter, man. You love that Flame Swordsman.
One of the only decent ones, too. Like, that card, like, in real life was okay. Like, 1,500 for, like, what, a 4 cost or 5 cost?
It's a 5 cost, but it's 18, actually. So it's, like, not too bad.
Yeah. In early Yu-Gi-Oh! Days, that was great. Now it's a garbage card, or maybe it's great because they don't ban any cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! So, like, cards that are old. Yeah, they don't ban cards, yeah.
Oh,
so
man.
that's why the format's super broken, just because old cards that, like, weren't designed well are still legal, so. Yeah.
I remember Joey had a card in his deck that was, like, Jinzo the Tech Warrior or something.
Oh,
and he got that from someone in the first or second episode of the second season. And I remember that one being pretty good, but I don't remember what it did.
That card was good because it destroyed all trap cards when it was revealed. Wait, did it destroy? No, it wasn't affected by trap cards. That was its thing.
Yeah, it's something like that. You cannot, trap cards and their effects on the field cannot be activated, negate all trap cards currently on the field. So yeah, and it was a 2,400 6-star also. So like, you're getting a lot of value out of Jinzo. Also, if I remember correctly in the episode, he was real tall. It was like a big, giant, tall, like, gimp fella with like he's got like a Bane mask on, some shoulder pads like he's in Mad Max. What the fuck is this guy? I'm going to send you guys the picture. Okay. And you're going to be like, yeah, what is his deal? Because, like, some of them are like Flame Swordsman, and it's just like trait 1, trait 2. Oh. Some are a little bit more confusing than that, but this guy is just...
this?
It's Jinzo, you guys!
Obviously, that's a Cenobite from Hellraiser.
Yeah, it really is.
He has such sights to show you.
Is his brain exposed? Like, what the hell?
Here's a bigger picture, because when you played this, like, by the time this guy was in it... Oh, wait, no, it's the same one.
I was going to say, you need the one of the, in the show, right?
Well, by the time this guy was in the show, they were, like, making real holograms that, like, stood next to you.
God.
And this is what Jinzo looked like in the show. And it's like, he was really tall. It looks like he's wearing a little tie, like a big old tie.
Yeah.
But also a big old belt over the tie, like he's fucking the Green Knight. And he's like a person. Like he's a burn victim kind of or something. Jinzo is so weird.
Also, where'd you get the Tech Warrior part? Like, because I don't see it on the card name. Like, was that...
I think I'm confusing it with another card he had. But there was something about, like, the vibe it gave off where it was like... I just kind of remembered it as like, oh, he's like a computer man. But that was probably just me not having any idea what the heck this thing was.
I do remember Jinzo the Tech Warrior as like a subtitle for this card. So there's something there.
Maybe the kid who used it. Well, Jinzo has an amplifier that is like a little... What the heck? You guys, we'll get to the 2017... Or 2017, Jesus Christ. We'll get to the 2022 stuff in a second.
Nando, you're regressing.
You put on a Jinzo to make him extra good. Like, what the heck is this? Is he like Krang or something?
What's that puzzle box of the Cenobites in Hellraiser? I forget what it's called.
I forget, but yeah, that thing. It's so weird. Jinzo's a weird card. I mean, there's probably something to it. There's got to be some... He's an android. Okay, that's why I think he's a tech warrior. He is technically an android.
Okay.
Yeah. Now what that means, I don't know, because he's got like mostly people skin. Like he just looks like a person with a little mask on. But it does say that he is that.
Joey, was this your favorite card in your deck? Was it Jinzo?
It could have been.
Still with us?
I I'm learning so much about it. You know,
I guess Joey left. Bummer.
I was waiting for Nando to finish talking. I was trying to be polite.
I didn't hear the first part where you said Joey. I just heard the part where you said, "Is this your favorite card?"
Yeah.
I assumed it was. Yeah, it's a solid card. It's got a lot going for it, and apparently it's some sort of android or something.
But no, my favorite card is the baby dragon.
Oh, that's so cute or whatever.
Yeah, it's a pretty weird looking one. I'll give you that. Looks like
Joey,
a Disney guy.
Joey, what was your favorite movie of 2021? I want to get your opinion.
What was Joey Wheeler's favorite movie of 2021, huh?
Yeah, really easy question if you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be Drive My Car.
What do you think it is, DJ?
Licorice Pizza, probably.
Oh, I was gonna say West Side Story because he's like kind of in it.
Oh yeah.
It's weird that you both took wrong guesses after I said what it was.
I know. I just feel like you connect to that because it was. I just wanted to give you credit for being so good in it because you're the main character and not someone else. It's you, Joey Wheeler.
Yeah, you Joey Wheeler.
They should do that. Like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged team should just do a whole new, like all of whatever his name is, Tony or whatever, all of his lyrics, just Joey Wheeler, and then we animate Joey Wheeler over his face.
The thing is, Nando, the person you're thinking of who sounds like him is not the person who should be replaced in that movie. It's not Tony.
Oh, wait.
You're thinking of, was it Riff?
What's the name of the character played by the terrible person?
Tony.
That is Tony. That's
but the person who sounds like Joey is not Tony.
Sure. Yeah. That's true. But now I think that is a great idea. So we do a Joey on this one.
Let's just have two Tonys. It's fine. It's not a problem.
That's a great idea. This is it. This is that parallel Jinzo. Like, we're thinking outside the box, much like Jinzo when he gets dressed every day. He's got two belts. He has one that's just a plain old belt and one that's a bunch of spikes.
Yeah.
That's this thing.
Well, one's his regular belt for his pants and the other's his chastity belt.
Oh, no. Jinzo fucks. You kidding me? You're out of your mind if you don't think Jinzo fucks.
Well, I'm not saying Jinzo doesn't fuck. He just likes the challenge.
Oh, okay. I can't.
You heard it here first.
Yu-Gi-Oh card. It's so stupid.
Jinzo fucks.
Anyway, you guys.
Confirmed.
That's a good one, DJ. No G.I. Joe movie. Diggins, what about you? Or no, excuse me. That was your biggest failure. No G.I. Joe universe. Yeah. Diggins, what do you think is the biggest failure of 2021?
So previously I had given a broad answer to this, but I realized that my main point was more specific, so I've narrowed it down.
Very good.
There's one person this year who took a couple of big swings and neither of them really worked out, and then also showed his ass in public by blaming the dang millennials and their cell phones. I'm going to say Ridley Scott was the biggest failure this year.
Wow, really?
Ridley? I liked The Last Duel. I think it's actually a pretty good movie, but it was a gigantic box office bomb. Probably primarily because Disney only begrudgingly released it due to contractual obligations and really didn't advertise for it at all.
And Ben Affleck looked silly in the trailer, and I couldn't wrap my head around the fact that old King Ben Affleck worked in a movie, so I figured it must be bad.
He's actually great. He's this huge dipshit.
Does he do an accent?
No, it's not really an accent movie.
That's smart.
Yeah, it works better that way. It's less distracting.
Yeah. But yeah, you got Last Duel. You had
House of Gucci, which was I think was a better financial success, but still only like when you added marketing costs, probably like barely made back its money, if even that. And then also was not very well received. I personally didn't love it. It's not bad, but it tries to walk the line between being like a real drama and camp, and it's just like it would have benefited a lot from sticking to one and going for it. And then also, Ridley Scott spent weeks getting dunked on the internet because he did a crotchety old man interview where he blamed the dang millennials for not watching his movies because they were always on their dang cell phones and won't watch movies if they're not on the dang cell phone, which just really made him seem out of touch and silly. He also did that Raised by Wolves show. That was 2020, but I never watched it, and I never heard anyone talk about it.
It was weird, but also like kind of boring. I tried, and I think I mostly finished it, but it's not all that great.
So just all in all, as someone who actually kind of likes late period Ridley Scott, I think he does some interesting things a lot of the time. I kind of like those Alien sequels, the like Prometheus and Covenant, or prequels, I guess they are.
Yeah.
But just a real rough year for the man. So that's why I'm saying Ridley Scott, biggest failure of 2021.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah. All right, I've got one. I've got a bomb from 2021, or like a thing that was that what it was?
Your biggest failure
of 2021. So originally, when we did this last week, my pick was Dear Evan Hansen. I think I'm still way right about that. Like, it's everything about it was bad. Say what you will about the Snake Eyes movie, but it didn't like get mocked endlessly. Now that will maybe give Dear Evan Hansen a whole nother like lease on life as like a cult classic, whereas Snake Eyes will just fade into the bushes like Sean Spicer. But I do think that there's something to this movie being a bad movie musical in the year of the movie musicals. Now, all of that being said, I want to amend or change mine for fun. So I'm going to say the last episode of every Marvel show except one was the biggest failure of 2021. I really think like it's insane how consistently they drop the ball. I'll give Loki. I think regardless of what
Nando, you were right. All the last episodes of every Marvel show.
I
were
said
terrible.
Except for one. I think that.
Well,
one is good.
You should have left that out because you were right the first time. Before that clause, they were all bad.
That one was good because it was good, but that all the other ones were bad. At least that one wasn't like. I mean, yeah, we've talked about it, but like,
I have no interest in relitigating that.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, but the other ones were so much worse because it was just like here's what I'll say about that one. At least with that one, I felt like they kind of planned that. Like that was an idea that they had and executed on, whereas like WandaVision, Captain Falcon both felt like it was like, okay, we got to wrap this thing up. Let's do this instead, and they just kind of tied all the plot lines together. It's a pretty horrible like. I mean, the Captain Falcon one was such a mess. And then, What If had a not good one. Hawkeye's wasn't great. I think Hawkeye's was, like, very on the okay level, but it was like they needed to turn that into something really big because there was so much foreshadowing and so much like, oh, this guy's got to fight this guy and this guy's got to fight this guy. And it was just like they, kind of punch each other a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, it was a bummer. WandaVision is, like, WandaVision episode 2, episodes 1 through 3 are amazing. Like, I really think they're such an achievement, and then they kind of blew it at the end. It's a bummer.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I hate when I'm enjoying a Disney Marvel TV show and I think it's actually quite good, and then the last episode completely blows it and makes me really upset.
Yeah. To be fair to Falcon and Winter Soldier, they were telling us pretty early that like this probably won't work.
Oh yeah, no, that one.
Pan out.
That one. It's actually quite an achievement that one's worst episode manages to be the last one because it was not doing so hot from the beginning.
Yeah. I feel like I like Marvel TV. I think overall the experiment has been positive, but the idea of like they just need to absolutely nail one, have one really really good season start to finish, and like they've gotten so close at least once. Maybe twice if you count Diggins, like not loving the end of Loki, but like, man, WandaVision, it's so good, and then it was dumb. But hey, now we're getting an Agatha Harkness spinoff and stuff.
How exciting!
Hooray!
The House of Harkness.
House of Harkness. Figure out what the rabbit's origin story is or something. I don't know.
Can't wait.
You guys, that was a great round of things that we thought were failures of 2021, but we should do
fresh and exciting
things that were the biggest winners of 2021.
Yes.
Let's start with Diggins. Diggins blank was the biggest winner of 2021.
So I have found a way to combine my own personal picadillos with what I think is a decent argument for biggest winner of 2021. because I think the biggest winner this year is one Sir Nicolas Cage.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, let's hear it.
So, you guys know the arc of Nicolas Cage's career, where he came onto the scene, was considered like hot new actor, got a bunch of like good roles, was generally considered really good, actually. Even won an Oscar for Leaving Las Vegas. Yeah.
Was it Raising Arizona?
I think it was Raising Arizona.
No, he won for Leaving Las Vegas. He may have been nominated for Raising Arizona, but anyway. Then, as his let's say money troubles accumulated, he started more and more just taking whatever role anyone would give him, and his reputation precipitously declined as he did more and more terrible action movies and just like really weird big choices in movies that could not support them. Whatever. And he did make enough money to pay off like the Mongolian government and everyone else he owed money.
Oh my god.
But he kind of left his acting reputation in tatters. But he's been in those minds for a while now, for years now, where he just does like low-key indie roles that are more interesting and that use his talents well. I've championed many of them on this podcast, like Color Out of Space is a great one. Mandy, fantastic movie.
Jiu-Jitsu.
Well, I didn't say he always makes great choices.
Croods 2.
Croods and Croods 2. Well, people like those movies.
Willy's Wonderland.
People do like them. They do well.
I liked Willy's Wonderland. I thought that one was pretty good, actually. But these have been like niche cult hits, or like some of them have had some critical success but weren't like really breaking through. But he was in a little movie this year called Pig. And Pig is not only a fantastic movie that uses his skills really well, it's being recognized as such. It's winning awards at festivals. People are talking about it as one of the best performances of the year. The scene of him talking to the head chef at that one trendy restaurant is like... People love that scene so much that I've seen on film Twitter people being like, what's the best scene of the year? And you can't say the chef scene from Pig because they just know that's going to be the number one answer.
Wow.
So...
It is really good.
It is fantastic.
I mean, he's good. Who's that chef guy? Is he a famous actor?
I don't think so.
Right? And like, he's so good.
He's good in it too. Yeah, no. Everyone's doing a great job in Pig. Pig is just a wonderful movie. But my point here is Nicolas Cage, for the first time in a long time, is reaching heights of acclaim that he has not received since his early acting days. And for that, I think we can say, he's one of the big winners of 2021.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Nice.
All right, I'm going to say, so I think last time we did this, I said HBO Max. I'm going to change mine, although I do think HBO Max absolutely killed it. I'm going to say, and I think this like necessitates a little bit of explanation. I think Free Guy was the biggest winner of 2021. Here's why.
Really?
I feel like
interesting.
Yeah, it's the only movie on the top 10 highest grossing movies this year that isn't a sequel or remake. It did really well considering it was like kind of released right around when the pandemic kind of like it was post Black Widow, but it was when we hadn't quite gotten movies back going. I think it was pre Shang-Chi, if I remember correctly.
It was, yes.
And yeah, it's just like a good movie that people like, and I remember seeing trailers for it and being like, oh, this is okay. This might be good. And I feel like more or less it delivered on all those things. And yeah, I think it was I don't think a Marvel movie or a DC movie or one of those can be a surprise hit. I don't even think like big Warner Brothers movies like Dune could be expected to be a surprise hit. I think this is as close as we got to a surprise hit this year in terms of money, my dear boy.
Free Guy did win the year's most prestigious award, which was Lazy Costume DJ War that nobody recognized.
Yep, it was great. I mean,
Yeah.
listen, you go to Comic-Con, nothing but Free Guy cosplays. So really,
Oh my
it was Yeah, it helped that when I went to Comic-Con, Michelle was Molotov.
Oh, yeah,
me
no.
by myself doesn't kind of...
I meant you
Yeah.
at your Halloween party where Michelle was not Molotov and nobody knew who you were.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
It was a great movie, and it got a great costume, and yeah, I think that movie was pretty good. I mean, I think you could even say maybe this was the year of what's her name, Jodie Comer. She was good in this, and then she was good in Last Duel apparently, and she's one of those people that people are like, oh, she's pretty cool. But I think Free Guy was good enough for me as maybe not the biggest winner in terms of just like making the most money, but being the surprise hit of 2021.
Nice.
What about you, DJ?
Well, guys, while all good answers, I think there's only one right answer here because we all know that Squid Game was the winner of 2021.
Right, yeah.
Hit television show that came out of nowhere. Lot of Halloween costumes that came out of it. Just Netflix's biggest show until the next biggest show. Just South Korean television being amazing. A
lot of Parasite vibes, a lot of Parasite vibes coming off of Squid Game.
So I think it's for me, just Squid Game really being the big winner for 2021.
I don't think that's what you said last time, DJ. You claimed you would change nothing.
Well, there's no proof to say what I did say, so I just think you're a dirty liar.
And I don't remember what you said, so I guess I'll take your word for it.
Oh, good.
Oh, my goodness. I do think Squid Game was, like, the biggest pop culture phenomenon of the year. Probably,
it's
right?
nuts how big it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Like,
I think
Spider-Man
Squid Game
was big, but Squid Game was really, really big.
I think in terms of your metric there, Nando, I think it was the most surprising hit of 2021. Because, like, there was it wasn't even meant to really be a big American show. It was a show for South Korea that Netflix made that just happened to really take off internationally.
Yeah.
So
it's
like,
really captured the culture, I feel like. Just, like with like parodies and just kind of, have you seen Squid Game?
And how the rich want us to die for their amusement.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Halloween costume, like Funko Pop, like, what do those say? Like kiosk at the mall industry. Like that, there is a lot of, I think part of the success is just the imagery is so simple and it's so easy to like see it and go like, oh yeah, Squid Game. Yeah. We like that. We like our simplicity. Tiger King had that with his weird old hair and stuff.
Yep.
So, yeah.
You got your pink suits, you got your PlayStation controller buttons,
You got your bunny
You
masks.
got, it was a theme of the wedding, right? One of the groomsmen we were just calling Squid Game.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It was just Squid Game, yeah.
Did he know we were doing that, and does he listen to this podcast?
I made him aware, and he was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
No way he didn't hear about that, or he never heard of it before.
No,
impossible. We're the only people that are honest. We're nice. We're good, honest people that say that's Squid Game here. Good for us. Right? Squid Game was cool.
So yeah, it's my winner.
All right, here we go. This is the one where we go. Remember when blank happened in 2021? I know I said a couple of these, but I don't know which one I said. So I'm just going to say, remember when Spiral from the Book of Saw happened in 2021?
Oh my God.
No, I don't.
Remember that movie? Speaking of things that, like,
forget.
Free Guy came up right around the same time as, and it's like one soared and one didn't soar. That was like a real movie.
Oh my gosh.
Wild.
Did either of you end up seeing it? Because I did not.
I did not either.
I listened to a review of it and like got a idea of what the problem was and like what people liked about it. So I don't think I'll ever really need to see it. But yeah, it just seems pretty boring.
Right?
Yeah. It's a shame, but also Saw is stupid, so whatever.
Have you ever watched the Saw movies? Either of you?
Oh yeah. I've watched like the first 4 of them. I've seen them all. Like I know there's a couple, maybe 1 or 2 that I haven't seen, but it's like the what was the other one? It's like Final Destination, where like I'll watch them. I don't need to have them be any good.
Because
like 1 was good, and then they made a bunch of bad ones.
I've never watched them, but I hear that they are like fun for being this like complete convoluted nonsense.
Yeah, it's very hit and miss in terms of like when they get a little. The problem with the Saw, like the idea of the traps is very fun and silly, and like some of them are like. A lot of the times it's like, what is this? What lesson is this teaching? The problem with Saw comes when it gets really invested in its own mythology and like, this is what happened in the last one, but this didn't actually happen. And it's like, I'm not here for this, man. I'm here to watch this guy freeze to death or whatever. And that's, so that's like the direction a lot of these franchises go over time is they like, pull a, what was it? Exorcist 3 when they like had to find out what the demon's name was. And it's just like, we don't care. But I did like it. The first one and second one. I think the second one's pretty clever, and I think the third one or the first one is like okay. We could do those on the pod maybe.
Oh, those Saw movies, yeah, that could be fun.
Ones, yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, DJ? What do you got for 2021?
So I stuck with mine just because I like this. Remember when GameStop stonk happened in 2021?
Oh my god, I can't even remember that. Incredible! What a poll, DJ.
I've never imagined this in my entire life that this would happen. That I would remember game stonks.
Yeah. I was actually watching a video about it the other day.
Yeah.
I was going through the Ordinary Things catalog. I think he's fun. And he had one about game stonks. And it seems like the idea, like what he decided to do was kind of record it as it was happening. And almost like charting the day to day. I don't think it's like quite like that, but it came out in like February. So he did it pretty quickly. And it was this weird little roller coaster ride of a week. Like it happened over time, and it's like this day it was big, this day it wasn't big, then it was really big, then this thing happened. There were just so many twists and turns. It was a good story.
And I think about like when you arrived like on your journey, like I don't even remember how I first heard about it. If it was like a New York Times alert or like I don't know, it was like someone told me, but then I just remember like every morning just like turning on CNBC and be like just all these apoplectic old men be like, I can't believe the kids! They're ruining the economy.
Yeah, but then a bunch of nerds on Reddit were all like sucking their own dicks, like, oh man, we're destroying the old money men. This is a blow for worker rights. And it was like, it seems like you're just doing speculation, but you're doing it in a way they don't like. It seems like they're just mad that you're doing the thing they do. Which doesn't seem like it's actually helping anybody.
Yeah, it was complicated. I get it. It's like people want to try to find some way to attack the riches, and like this made sense, kind of. But yeah, they ultimately beat us and by us I mean the poorest. I wasn't like super invested in this, but like they got like the Robin Hood was shut down or whatever for like a day. Remember that? The whole
yeah.
Robin Hood was the worst.
Yeah, they were like, we don't want to sell your stuff, which is
like,
weird.
No, it was especially weird because like Robin Hood sold itself as for the people, and it's like, no, you're not. Like, come on, no corporation's like for the people. Like maybe nonprofits who I don't know give away like free socks and stuff, but everyone else just trying to make money like everyone else.
Well, and nitpicking core whenever that starts or something, when we start our company, ours will actually be a good one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll give out baby bottles for free. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Oh, our name's Robin Hood. We steal from the rich and give.
Yeah,
shut up.
Shrek's Robin Hood, who's French and does Matrix stuff and then dies. I think. Don't remember.
Takes a wee percentage.
Who is that I hear? Is that you?
That was Robin Hood from Shrek. You know how he sings with a kind of got a weird accent, remember?
Damn. Yeah, I thought it was somebody else.
Maybe
what
later.
About you, Diggins? What's your remember thing?
Guys, remember when Britney was finally freed in 2021?
You changed it.
This is a different... It was used for a different category before. Now I'm using a different category.
Like, I
liked your old
that.
one.
I'm glad she got freed.
Yeah, she's... guys, it's one of those things where it's just like, man, we didn't think about this at all in the mid-2000s, unless you were that one guy who made a YouTube video who's just the most vindicated person on Earth now.
Chris something. I forget his name. Chris Crocker, maybe?
I think that sounds right.
I remember that guy.
From Fairly Odd Parents?
No, that's
What's his name? It is Crocker, but he has a different first
Crocker,
name.
yeah.
But yeah, it's same guy. You know,
That's all I can think of.
I want to
could be
say
him.
Denzel, and that can't be right.
No, I think that's it. I think it's Denzel Crocker is how it's usually pronounced.
Oh boy.
By like his mom, who he lives with, probably, because, you know, Butch Hartman has a lot of original ideas. Yeah.
But yeah, no, she went through a lot of stuff, like way, you know, she's rich, sure, but you know, she lost all autonomy over like her body and her choices in her life, and like even like who she could see a lot of the time, and that's messed up. And thanks to reporting by Ronan Farrow and Gia Tolentino, we learned the full extent of that. Again, it was kind of like a Bill Cosby thing, where we kind of knew this was happening for a while, but we just didn't really think about it. And then this reporting came out that really blew it up. And thanks to that public outcry, she finally got the conservatorship struck down by the courts. I think only in November that happened. So
yeah, it was pretty late in 2021.
Yeah.
So guys, our long national nightmare is over. And, you know, I think we can all agree. Long past due.
Yeah.
I liked your other one better. Not that it's... Well, because the Britney thing's great, but I just like to remember when... Because I did remember the Britney thing, but I legit forgot the other thing you said.
All right, for DJ, real
Honorable
quick.
mention.
Honorable mention. Remember when that boat got stuck in the Suez Canal? Because I'll never forget.
It was so good.
I'm going to say, now thinking about remember things, remember when we got our first vaccination? That was like this year, you know?
Yeah, and you were like, I'm glad this is finally going to be over soon.
My
right?
first useless vaccination, you mean?
Apparently, yeah.
Garbage vaccination.
Yeah, our first microchips, you know, our first dose of I don't know. What's the thing in Brave New World? Our first dose of the chemical that makes us dormant to society.
Let me be very clear. I'm not saying that vaccines don't work. I'm saying I got Johnson & Johnson, and from what I read on Twitter, apparently at this point, it didn't mean anything.
You might as well have drank your grandson's pee.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that was this year. Or like last year, 2021 was like when that... It feels like it happened like so long ago.
I don't even remember getting vaccinated. Oh, God, remember just, like, I don't know if you guys experienced this, but, like, just going on, like, Twitter to try and find, like, oh, maybe I could get an appointment here if I follow, like, I don't know, for me it was, like, NJ COVID appointment, blah, blah, blah. It was, like, NJ Vax Now. It was just this guy started this, like, Twitter account.
I do kind of remember it. I remember just I was so happy. Like, it was like I was graduating that day. I was high-fiving everyone. It was amazing.
You did the, like, 500 Days of Summer dance, spontaneous dance number out of the building. Hit a home run on your walk through the park.
Yeah, it was like a Disney musical. It was amazing. They, like, lifted me up, but then, yeah, here we are. But, I mean, hey, it was good while it lasted.
It was fun when in the moment.
Yeah. DJ, we got to talk about 2021 was the year of blank. So what was your one of these?
So my one of these was 2021 was the year, and I'm not changing this one because I couldn't think of a better one, was the year of the good video game sequel / remake. Right. And basically my point with this is there were like a lot of good, it was really remakes, it was just sequels. There were a lot of good video game sequels in 2021. Here was my list of video game sequels that, you know, I think most people consider like at the bare minimum good. Hitman 3, Halo Infinite, Back 4 Blood, Tales of Arise, Life is Strange True Colors, Metroid Dread, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, Resident Evil Village, Monster Hunter Rise, Psychonauts 2, and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Ooh. Yeah. I stand by that. You know what I'm really excited for in 2022? I'm excited for that Pokemon MMO that's coming. That comes out this month for the Switch.
MMO?
What is it?
It's like an open world Pokemon game. I guess it's not an MMO.
Yeah, those are different things.
My bad. It's an open world Pokemon RPG.
The one where God descends from the heavens to give you a cell phone in the 1800s.
Yes, exactly. I'm very excited for my cell phone from God.
What's this game called? Hold on.
Pokemon Arceus?
Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's like the first open world Pokemon game where, yes, God descends from the heavens to give you a cell phone.
And also, your human body can get fucked up by Pokemon.
Yeah. They will destroy you. I'm pretty excited for that game.
This looks pretty sweet.
Listen, Hollywood cannot fix this issue of just like having too many. Oh my God, everything's like a remake or a sequel and it sucks. But we're still killing it with video games. Like, there's still quality stuff to be had in your favorite IP.
I really need to.
Hitman 3 was awesome.
I really need to play Psychonauts 2. I got it during the Steam Winter Sale, and I love Psychonauts 1. Psychonauts 1 is one of my favorite games. So, I really got to hop on it, but, time's fake.
Yeah.
Time is fake.
Guys, remember when time was fake in 2021?
Yeah, remember, or 2020. I feel like 2020 was the big year for time being fake.
Yeah. It's still fake. I just heard about it, again, being fake.
Really?
It's already the 10th of January. How's that real? How's that real time stuff going, There's no way. That's fake time. It should be January 1st or maybe even 2nd.
Maybe December 31st. Maybe it's 2021 again.
Oh, yeah. Just take another shot at it. That'd be great.
Yeah, remix. That might be this year. This year might be our second shot at 2021.
Yeah.
I hope we get it right this time.
I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of faith, yeah. Be nice. Diggins, what about you?
I also didn't change mine because I couldn't think of a better one. But 2021 was the year of endlessly speculating about everything. Whether that means trying to predict when Mephisto would finally show up in the MCU. The answer is never.
No, it's going to be Morbius. Don't be silly.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how he turns into not Venom, but your neighborhood Dr. Michael Morbius.
Yeah, neighborhood friendly Dr. Michael Morbius.
Is that Satan shows up and is like, you're a vampire now.
Can't wait.
There's lots of tons of I feel like the shows were so much more fuel to the fire for this than the movies have been, of just pouring through every frame for any clue about what's going to happen next or who's going to show up. Probably because I feel like shows just encourage that a little bit more than movies do, because they're these discrete packets you get on a weekly basis and not just one big thing that drops.
Yeah.
And then also because of the way Disney structures its shows, where they're mostly plot isn't happening, they're just telling you that plot's about to happen.
Oh, Diggins. Oh, you.
You sly dog.
Which makes you think about, I wonder what the cool plot that's eventually going to happen in this show is. Encourage speculation. Then there was speculating with cryptocurrencies and NFTs. Financial speculation, because they're not currencies. They're commodities that you buy and sell because they're far too unstable to ever be a valid currency.
Now, Diggins, you're just too pea-brained to understand the complexities of it, and that's okay.
That's
you got
true.
Paper hands. That's what they say.
But just no matter what definition of speculating you use, there was so much speculating in 2021. That's why I think it was the year of endlessly speculating.
Love it.
I love it too.
I do blame. I think it is definitely WandaVision's fault. However, it's so tough because WandaVision was a mystery show, but also the Mephisto thing is a meme. However, it's so weird that this year they did the two big Mephisto stories in live action with Spider-Man.
I know,
makes a wish to not have everyone remember him, and then Wanda has two babies that probably aren't real or whatever. So it's it's so weird. I don't think
what are the
get
odds
Mephisto
that
in a not Loki
up?
world or in a not WandaVision. If we just started with Loki, you'd see that picture of Mephisto in the background or something. You'd be like, nah, that's kind of him, but that's probably not what's going on.
Well, what's interesting? Because Captain Falcon was supposed to be the first Marvel show, right? But then COVID kind of fucked that up.
I don't remember, but probably. That sounds right.
I thought that was the case.
I believe that is true.
So I wonder if everything would have felt different if we got Captain Falcon first and then WandaVision. I always as a sliding doors moment wonder how that would have changed.
It would have been
how we viewed the Marvel TV shows.
Oh no, these Marvel TV shows are all going to be bad. And then WandaVision happens. Actually, this one's pretty good.
Yep. Yeah, speculating is. I mean, part of it has to do with the fact that we just weren't allowed to do anything else, so we all had to sit at home and go I don't know what WandaVision's gonna be. To be alone with our thoughts.
Well, if you want, I can change my answer to 2021 was the year of Meltdown May. The year when every
that?
month was Meltdown May. It's a Twitter thing where May is the month where everyone has like a meltdown and tweets out like just insane nonsense. Not like as a unified thing that everyone has agreed to do. It's just a coincidence. Some people noted that like celebrities tend to like tweet out insane shit on Monday in May. Except this in 2021, it was every month.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That is true. I'm gonna change mine. I'm gonna say I think this is true. I think 2021 was the year of HBO Max.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I still think that. I think the non-sequel thing is true, but HBO Max really killed it. Like with just like giving movies to people, like to the, public, and most of them were at least okay. Like, I mean, I think Suicide Squad's like my favorite overall movie of the year in terms of just like being cool and sweet and stuff. And that came from them. And, Dune, we said that was good. The Godzilla, the Mortal Kombat movies, like movies that weren't that great, but were okay. Like they put out a lot of great stuff. And then also they had lots of shows that we liked that I kind of forgot what they were, but I remember watching most of them, being like, that's a really good show. The app doesn't
Nando.
work though, but everything else is good.
The app is fine if you Chromecast it. I found that. Like the app.
Okay.
Do it on a, something like, I don't know, top of my head, a PlayStation 5. It's just unusable.
Yeah, the PlayStation 4 version stinks. The phone version stinks. I just opened up the web app. It doesn't work. Like, it's so weird. But the content on it is great. I mean, Succession was like one of the big shows of the year. And yeah, they had all kinds of cool stuff. And it's not going to be like, I don't know if it's going to be quite as good this year, or like if there's anything really amazing to look forward to besides like Peacemaker, but it's really just because I haven't been thinking about it too much. But like, I don't know. I think HBO Max really I'm glad that they released their movies so we didn't have to see them in theaters. That's nice. Yeah, I think they were pretty good.
I had this conversation with Michelle. I'd be curious what you guys think. What is the content platform that has the biggest gap between the quality of the actual content versus the quality or lack thereof versus the quality or lack thereof of like the user interface? Because for me, it's either HBO Max or Peacock. I can't decide, because like HBO Max is like really, really, really good content, but awful. I'm not awful, but like subpar UI. Like Peacock has like pretty okay content, but abysmal UI and just like usability.
Well, this is the problem with Quibi. It was a terrific app. Always ran really well.
Yeah.
But the content didn't work and the gimmick wasn't very good. Or the content wasn't good and the gimmick didn't work. I think it's Netflix. I think Netflix has a really shitty UI. Yeah. Thought that for a while. Like, it works. It's it's an app that you could turn on and reliably watch stuff on, but in terms of surfacing content, it's so bad. Like,
yeah, it is really annoying that any amount of browsing will result in a billion trailers playing if you let it rest for even a second.
You can turn that off, though, in case you want to. There is a function in that, thank God.
Right, but it's default on because it lets them juice their numbers of watches.
Right, and also, like, their whole, like, HBO, one of the things HBO Max does that's really good, it has a lot of curated sections. So it's like, this is movies about Christmas or whatever.
I love that.
Netflix
I do love
that. If you like that, then you might like a little streaming service called the Criterion Channel, which does a ton of that.
Oh.
Yeah, but this one has Peacemaker, so it's my favorite. And it has Sex Lives of College Girls, another show I like. HBO's great. But not only does Netflix has to do that, HBO also has those little hubs where you can go on like the Warner Brothers one and the TCM one or whatever. Yeah. And like Netflix has none of that, even though like it just has no identity. It's such a mess. If they didn't have Squid Game this year, I feel like I would be like, yeah, they're done. But Squid Game was really good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I
don't think they're going to be the
so
dominant streaming
Nando.
platform next year at all.
I just don't think. I feel like Netflix is the default streaming thing in the general public's mind, you know.
Yeah.
And like that's just going to be
like
really
everyone has
difficult.
a subscription.
That's going to be really difficult to topple.
I mean, they're having a hard time with consolidation and like. They've just started making video games. Like, they're making video game stuff and, like, animes that no one wants to watch and Millar World stuff that no one wants to watch. and like children's like cartoons that sing to you. So like it's not a good like brand. Say what you will about the HBO movies not all being great. Like it's just like not, I don't know. I don't think Netflix will go away necessarily, but I do think it will stop being the big one.
I think what hurt them.
Competitors.
Yeah, and I think what hurt them was everyone wanted their stuff back, right?
Yeah.
Like it was great for them when they had everyone's stuff, but everyone's like, wait, we can make money off of our stuff. We want it back.
It was great when there was just one streaming service that we could just get everything on, and then now that it's basically just cable again, it's terrible.
Yeah,
It is terrible.
I wouldn't be surprised if like a studio goes with them too. Like I don't think Sony would. But like if some actual production studio partnered with them just as like, here's our backlog, movies people want to watch, they're on this thing, that would be good. Not that Sony has those, but like any company that has movies that isn't already tied to one of these, because like, yeah, it sucks. Netflix,
I feel like they're all tied to one of these though.
They are. I don't know what the Sony one is, but you're right. They probably have their own VioNet.
I mean, like Stars or Showtime, like one of those ones maybe. Like because there's just so you go to find a movie, it's like, oh, it's this thing or whatever.
Yeah, part of the HBO consolidation that helped it was like it did get like Crunchyroll, right? That's one of theirs.
Yes,
and like DC streaming service and TCM and a bunch of others. So they did already have those hubs kind of built up. But with this, it's like, yeah, I don't know, Netflix. It's got Netflix stuff. If people want to make it, then like it's got stand-up comedy. I don't know. Netflix is dumb. But that's 2021, you guys. Let's make some predictions.
All right. Mark these down, everybody.
Mark them down, Roger.
This is where chips are on the table.
Yeah,
so we got 5.
This is where everyone's going to see that I'm the big brain smart one again, because all my predictions will be amazing.
Yeah. Or maybe not. So 2022, you guys, looking forward. The year we're technically already in, so nobody say things like from last week. Okay. I don't know what those would be.
Yeah, right.
What happened last week? Not much.
I predict that 2022 will be the year of the Bob emergency.
Oh, yeah.
I think 2021 will be the year all the late night hosts get COVID for 2 weeks. And then we all go, oh, yeah, I guess there wasn't late night stuff on YouTube. Cool. But you guys, 2022... we're going to say what we think will be the year of, and we got a couple of other things similar to what we just talked about, and things that we talked about already, but the 2022 version. So, Diggins, you're going to start. What will 2022 be the year of? Or, wait, excuse me. What will 2022 be the year that finally dies?
Right.
What will die in 2022?
Well, Nando, you were just talking about the default thing for X finally toppling and being overtaken by a usurper that is generally agreed by people to be of a higher quality, and the rapid decline and deterioration of that former ubiquitous one. Well, no, I think you're right about that, but I think you have the wrong arena for where that will happen. For you see, 2022 will be the year that World of Warcraft finally dies.
Hell of a take, man. It's such a take.
Well, listen, I
just don't see it.
It's kind of happening already. I'm pretty sure, I haven't double-checked the numbers, but I do believe it is no longer the number one MMO. It has been overtaken by Final Fantasy XIV, which, I don't know how connected you guys are to #gamer Twitter, but
fair amount. I know how good it is. Apparently it's very good.
It's like a meme at this point that like people recommending the trial for Final Fantasy XIV because everyone who plays it like falls in love with it.
They have really good community managers too. Like their community content's probably the best. Like in the MMO game.
They just had a huge expansion that got released that is like everyone is saying is incredible. I don't play Final Fantasy XIV to be clear because I can't imagine something I want less than to have a bunch of people also playing a game at the same time as me. But I have many friends who are deep in on Final Fantasy XIV, and like all of them are unanimous in their praise, and like how much better it is than in design than other MMOs. And compound that with Blizzard as a company is doing real bad right now.
Oh my god, they're the worst.
Yeah,
I mean that Overwatch game we all want.
Oh my god, we want it so badly or whatever.
So badly.
So yeah, they're scandal after scandal revealing like the deep wells of sexual harassment and abuse and just awful treatment of labor at Blizzard, which I'm not going to say is like completely out of the ordinary for the video game industry, nor will I promise that that's not happening at Square Enix, where they make Final Fantasy XIV. Not because I know anything, but just because they're also a video game company, so, you know, it's better not to make any statements like that.
Yeah, probably.
But Blizzard is like melting down with how much of that stuff is coming out, the lawsuits they're facing, there's like government action being taken against them at this point in California. It's like, things don't look so good for them, and then at the same time, like, they don't have much to fall back on if WoW's numbers start faltering. They don't have a lot of new games out. Overwatch is still big, sure, but I think it's kind of receded into being one of the smaller, or into not being like number one like it used to be. So it's just like all the stuff that they make is kind of losing steam, and with the scandals and the talent drain of just like people quitting because of the terrible labor conditions, it doesn't seem like they really have the talent to, like the personnel rather, to turn things around on any of these games. So yeah, I think WoW is gonna, now to be clear, I don't mean it will literally stop existing, but I think it's gonna fall pretty far down the MMO chain by the end of 2022.
I could see it.
I could see it, yeah.
Yeah, Blizzard stinks. I wish they were cool, but they're not. Like, I enjoy Overwatch. I think it's a fun game to play, and I do play it from time to time. But, yeah, I don't know. I kind of forgot that Overwatch 2 is even a possibility at this point. But, like...
Haven't they changed the game director, like, 5 times?
Yeah. Jeff left, but I don't know who they replaced him with, and I think that guy left too. But, yeah, there were demos of it, like, 2 years ago that were being played at what's the one? E3 and... not E3. Is that the one?
PAX?
E3...
I thought there was some at PAX.
There was something. One of them had it.
E3 could be it. There's a
it
few
might have been
things it could have been.
But, yeah, like, people were playing it. And now it's, you know... So that I feel like that's the thing that could save them in terms of like money and kind of a fresh start. But I don't know when that's coming out. So yeah, World of Warcraft might be a casualty of.
I want you to make it a hotter take and say that Blizzard will die. I think that would be fun.
That'd be wild if they were just like everybody went, you know what? Let's not, and then just stop doing Blizzard. Like everybody that works there, everybody that plays the games, and then they just didn't do it.
I mean, I will say, I think if WoW does fall, then I can't imagine that Blizzard will be too far to follow, just because like WoW subscriptions are such a huge part of their revenue.
It's true.
Yeah,
and you think that fan base is like locked in, right? Like people have been playing WoW forever. Although it is probably one of those things where it's hard to grow the subscriber base because like how do you start now?
Well, so this is a thing for Final Fantasy XIV. They when the big expansion released and like everyone wanted to be on to play it, they literally like shut off the free trial and stopped letting people buy the game for a week because so many people wanted to play it. It was like the servers were overloaded. It was impossible.
Oh man, that always helps kind of make it big too.
Yeah, like they had done everything they could, and it's just like, if we let everyone who wants to buy this game, then no one will be able to play it.
Hell of a brag.
Way to go. Yeah.
Like, right?
I will say,
too many people like want our shit.
They made StarCraft, right? That's them?
That's Blizzard, yeah.
Blizzard?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I could see them popping out of StarCraft 3, and it's like, whoa, that's something. But
Diablo 4?
Yeah, Heroes
just get all the
of
hits
the
out.
What's the one?
Heroes of the Storm 2. Hearthstone 2.
Hearthstone, yeah, maybe that. I don't know. That probably makes some money.
I don't know if people say play.
Guys, we all know that the desperate bid to turn things around is going to be NFTs. Come on.
Oh, bleh. But although Square Enix said they were going to start doing that, which like isn't great for that whole Final Fantasy 14 is so awesome thing.
Yeah,
right.
Well, that was the president of Square Enix was like, I think NFTs are cool, and I would like to do NFT things, not like an official announcement plan. And they got yelled at a lot for him saying that. So we'll see.
Of course they did.
We'll see. Anyway,
well, I think it's a bold one. I like it.
I like it too.
All right, I'm gonna just keep my one from last year or last week.
From last year. Now it's gonna die. The Snyderverse.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like it's been a year, But no, I'm going to say 2022 will be the year that the Arrowverse / CWverse or whatever finally dies. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's a really bold prediction in terms of like speaking of things that aren't taking on new subscribers, new people. Like I don't think if you're like, you know what, I'm going to get into these 18 shows with 50 seasons each. Like I don't think anybody's coming on now. Although I know they have that new Naomi show, which isn't necessarily part of the like universe, but it is. Like, I think it's on the CW, and it's made by Ava DuVernay, and it's, like, based on a comic that's pretty good. But, like, I feel like the problem with this has been just CW, apparently, is poor. Did you guys see this story? This was in the week between when we recorded the last one and this one. Yeah. So, let me see if I find this story. They are trying to get sold. So Paste Magazine.
Really?
Don't know what this is.
I know
First
Paste.
They're
pretty good.
I'll just do the Wall Street Journal one. Warner Media and Viacom are exploring possible sale of CW Network. So I just feel like there's no reason to, like, why would they keep the CW going when it's all Warner Brothers stuff anyway? So it'll just get folded into Netflix, and then they'll probably just kill the ones that aren't any good. And I think, or not Netflix, Jesus, HBO Max. I think the problem with, like, them now is the thought of this hyper-connected universe was fun back when the shows were all quality, or at least, you know, quality for TV, and then like now they're not anymore, and we're gonna have better, higher like production value TV shows, the Superman show, Doom Patrol, like, you know, Peacemaker, that I don't think that, like, I feel like they'll fold in maybe like Naomi and maybe Flash, but like Supergirl's done too, and I don't know if anybody watches Black Lightning, but I don't think there's like any reason for them to muddy their waters with this, you know, bunch of shows no one really thinks are any good anymore. Now that their big selling point of like they're all connected is like they're all connected to each other and none of them are very good. So I don't know. I used to like these things, but I do think it's time for this universe to finally die. And I think the declining quality and the fact that HBO is kind of consolidating all of these different, you know, like kind of separate TV Warner Brothers or DC things like the Pennyworth show and Titans and all that stuff. Like there's just no place for them there. What about you, DJ? What do you think 2022 will be the year that blank finally dies?
So I'm also sticking with mine from last time. I'm going to say that 2022 is the year that Game of Thrones finally dies.
Oh, yes, it's a good one.
So it's like a complicated one, right?
Yeah.
So
a bold prediction, looking at a man on life support who's been in a coma for 3 years and saying, I think this is the one.
All right, listen. So we're getting that stupid House of the Dragon show this year, and this might be the one thing that, like, obviously not like kills HBO, but is like very bad on HBO. I just think that, you know, there was so much ill will with the end of the show, with end of Game of Thrones. We haven't seen
what happened?
book.
People don't like it?
Yeah, but
People like not fans of this
Were
thing.
people like
6? I don't think so.
Were people like doing whole podcasts where they just talked about how much they hated the season?
You know, Bran the Brave, just the best, right?
Yeah.
Bran the Broken.
Sorry, Bran the Bro. Yeah, I think he's Bran the Brave. He's so brave. That's why he gets to be king. Spoiler for the series finale of Game of Thrones. So, and, you know, everything was like, oh, we're going to make 8 billion Game of Thrones shows. And now we're just going to get this one that's a prequel show that there's not been a lot of news on. And I feel like HBO's just doing it to kind of go through the motions. Furthermore, this is like a slightly bolder take, I think, but I think we're gonna like get hard confirmation in 2022 that we're never gonna get Winds of Winter, and I don't mean that like George R. R. Martin's gonna die.
You heard it here first, folks. DJ says George R. R. Martin will die in 2022.
That would be a fucking crazy prediction. But what I mean by that is I think he's going to come out and say, I just don't have it, and I told the story I wanted to tell, and I'm working on Elden Ring 2, 3, and 4, and I have no interest in continuing the Game of Thrones saga, because you people won't leave me alone, and I just want to go to talk about the Jets and Giants and go to Grateful Dead concerts. That's all I want to do. Let me do those things. I don't want to do any other things.
Yeah, do you think if the Jets become really terrible, maybe they'll be like, all right, maybe he'll finish his book. But if they become really good, it's like there's no way he won't have time.
Yeah, like if the Jets are going to the Super Bowl, no, there's no way. Yeah, there's no way.
We're not getting
it's
that
just,
book.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we are getting this book then.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that what you think?
But it looks like DJ's made the first negative prediction where he is taking a prediction from last year and just completely switching it. You know?
The anti-prediction.
The anti-prediction, yeah. Wild stuff.
Yeah, because then if we do get Winds of Winter in 2022, I can go back and be like, oh, actually, I was calling my shot. I was here too early, but, really I was right if you think about it.
That's true.
That's
so
how I like
we
to
have
look
to
at
continue living in this like liminal space where George R. R. Martin could write Winds of Winter and might, but hasn't. And then DJ can always be wrong. Diggins, what about you? Oh, wait, no, we did these. Sorry. Well, you're doing the next one. Or no, I think I'm starting the next one.
I started this one. So.
Yeah, you did start this one. Okay. So let's talk about the big hit of 2022.
Yeah.
I didn't write 2 for this, so I'm going to keep the one I had. I'm going to say, and I think this is like not the bravest pick ever, but like I think Moon Knight will be the big hit of 2022. Great comic, great cast. Visually should be pretty interesting. Should set itself apart in the Disney Plus verse of like the one for adults. Yeah.
Nando, do you think it will have a plot rather than just telling you that there's going to be a plot eventually?
I see. Here's the thing. I think it's perfectly positioned to be the plotless one because it's going to be a mystery or something, right? Like it's going to be him like waking up in an insane asylum and being like, what happened to me? How many personalities do I have? Am I an Egyptian super criminal like mercenary guy? And but I do think because it's such a simple story, unlike something like Loki or WandaVision, by the end, the answer will be like, yeah, I am. And it'll be a satisfying conclusion to that. I'm hoping. Because it doesn't have to, rewrite all of cosmic reality. It just has to go like, yeah, there's probably at least one Egyptian god out there somewhere. And, yeah. But I don't know. I think 2022 could be a lot of things in terms of Disney and Marvel and all that stuff. And there's definitely a lot of movies coming out that might rule. But I think Moon Knight is the thing that I'm the most excited for. Well, that's not true. It's up there. I'm excited for all of it because it's all great. But I think Moon Knight is the thing that I've seen the most excitement for. So, what about you, DJ? What do you think will be the big hit of 2022?
Hey guys, what's gonna be the big hit of 2022?
What?
This Lord of the Rings TV show we're definitely getting. So the big
now he's doing it
hit
again. He's doubling down.
Yeah, after the anti-prediction, now comes the doubling down.
Incredible.
I'm really spreading out. Whatever the opposite's going to happen. It's like Lord of the Rings is going to get skipped. Winds of Winter is going to come out. Like I'm just going to get everything the most wrong.
What do we know about this show?
We know,
like, who's in? Do we know who's in it?
Yeah. Oh man. Nando, you see here, DJ is flashing us the "please stall while I look up information I didn't bother to look up until just now" signal. So we can just spout off on some nonsense. Maybe the Merovingian's about to show up. I don't know.
I was gonna say.
No. All right, ready? Here's what we know.
What do we know? We've known it the whole time.
Yeah. This is it's going to be an 8-episode season, which is going to premiere on Prime Video on September 2nd of this year. A second season has already been ordered, so that's a good sign.
Is it?
Set in the Set in the Second Age of Middle-earth, thousands of years before the events of The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, the series follows an ensemble cast of characters as they confront the reemergence of evil in Middle-earth.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
The reemergence of Lord of the evil, Rings. You say? Wow.
A whole cast of characters.
Well,
I have a laundry list of executive producers.
Oh, wow.
That's the most important role.
I feel like DJ is either reading this for the first time, or I would also buy DJ's just making this up. Like, it's got a cast of characters, Jim Blow and Flim Flam, all the guys are back, baby.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
The creators are J.D. Payne and Patrick Henry, which if you go on their IMDb, is not much.
Oh. The new Benioff and Weiss of this. I don't know.
He's an uncredited writer of Star Trek Beyond.
That was a good one. I like that one. That one was fun.
Good.
No, that's the TV show, Nando.
No, isn't that the third one? The one with
that's the third one.
with Idris Elba, inexplicably, where they do motorcycles and stuff.
Oh my god, you're right.
Yeah, I don't know. Star Trek shows all have the same. It's always like Star Trek, fancy word. Star Trek, the Next Generation, or
I don't know what the show is called.
The New Frontier, Happiness Valley. Everyone loves it. Star Trek, shiny silver stuff. But yeah. So this Lord of the Rings show is what is it called? Untitled Lord of the Rings show.
It really is called The Lord of the Rings. That's all we got. Amazon's own.
I guess they could call it that because nothing has been called that so far. Like they are all a subheading, but this is just Lord of the Rings.
All the book things. Yeah. So listen.
Yes, it's good.
It's going to surprise everyone. It's going to surprise everyone.
How's Australia and New Zealand doing with that lockdown? Well, I guess are they even filming it there?
It's New Zealand. Yeah.
Okay.
It's got to be.
Yeah,
I feel like in on them. I don't know what they're up to.
I feel like just for not even for the actual landscapes, because I'm sure you could find similar landscapes somewhere else, but just for that authenticity feeling at this point, it's got to be New Zealand. Peter Jackson's locked that in.
And I know they did some funky stuff when it came to like tax credits and stuff with the Hobbit one. So
yeah.
Oh, yeah, the Hobbit movies kind of like ruined New Zealand's labor laws.
Yeah, exactly. So they might as well use them. Diggins, what do you think would be the big hit of 2022?
I am going for a safe bet here because my other predictions are so bold and impressive and, very handsome.
You said it, not me.
Just like you.
Yeah.
I am going with Mission Impossible 7. It's going to be the big hit of 2022. Y'all seen those Mission Impossible movies, right?
No, we love them.
Yeah, they got all the guys. They got Ethan Hunt.
True.
Did any of the rest of them have names?
Presumably.
Benji
and Luther and
Luther, yeah.
The guy from CNN.
Wolf
Blitzer.
What's the name of the scientist who's like, I will kill everyone. I am a Russian man, maybe? I don't know. Remember that guy? He has to hold his breath because he goes underwater. That guy's cool. I don't know if that guy survived the last one.
I don't know.
It's hard to tell at any point.
But I think the Mission Impossible movies are kind of this weird, I don't want to say relic, but they feel like a throwback to a bygone era when action movies were allowed to be kind of silly and fun if they weren't superhero movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They kind of feel...
Yeah, I get that.
They kind of feel like Pierce Brosnan era James Bond in that way, where they're a little goofy, and they're like all about these like huge, big stunts, but they're lots of fun. They're really they have really great action scenes. They have really great practical effects and everything, and it's just, I don't know, man. I love those Mission Impossible movies. I think the people love them, and I have no reason to believe that this new one is not going to be just as great as the other ones. Which, if it is, sounds to me like a recipe for a hit. And if I want to get even more over my skis, it's not coming out till the summer when maybe things will be more under control, ?
Oh, now you done did it, Diggins. Now you done did it.
And people will feel safer going to theaters? I don't know. I'm not committing to that prediction, but, it might be a point in its favor.
If you say so. I don't want to give it that, but I do think Mission Impossible 7 could be cool. There's something with the train or something. Looks very cool. And also Tom Cruise is a maniac, so. Eventually
Tom Cruise is going to die on the sets of one of these movies.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. How old is he? Is he 60?
He's like 200 years old. He's so old. He's got so many thetans, it doesn't even matter. Like, he's got negative thetans that are making him happy instead of mad. It's incredible stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, I know. He is. I think he is in his 60s.
Tom Cruise is 59 years old.
Oof. Nice. Why did I think he was older than... He's just been doing this forever. And time is fake, as we know.
I mean, 59 is not far from 60.
Yeah.
Are you sure you're not reading his height in inches? I don't know if that's his age. I can make that joke because I'm one of us.
Yeah, he better not listen to this
Wow, Nando turning on your fellow short kings.
I gotta, you know what? Here's the thing with us short people. I can't accept a self-hating short, you know? I think we're in the age where if you're short, you just do that now. That is you. You don't wear little high-heeled shoes that stand on a box anymore. So Tom Cruise, I want to say, what would be a fun? What's the closet for him? Come out of the elevator that slightly makes you just as tall as everyone else. Be a tall or be a short person. You know,
live in your truth.
Take off your moon shoes and just come back to Earth with the rest of us.
It's funny because he's famous enough where like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, we all know how tall he is too. Like it's about 5'6" or 7" or something. But he does seem to maybe wear fancy pickled Timberland boots. And it's like, oh, you just love him so much. He's got such special feet. I don't know. Listen, Tom Cruise, if you want to, I don't know, come on the podcast.
Yeah, please. I can't even imagine.
I mean, listen, if Tom Cruise wants to come on the podcast, I'd be all for it.
What would we say? Like, we wouldn't have anything to say to Tom Cruise.
Nando would say something about thetans and we'd all get disappeared.
Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. Someone just knocked on my door. Sorry, guys. I just had to go real quick to the re-education center.
Nando.
To get all your thetans removed.
Somewhere in this. Yeah, it's actually very complicated. Something to do with aliens and a volcano. But it's Tom Cruise is cool. John Travolta is cool. Who else is cool? Those two at least. Will Smith,
Leia
maybe,
Remini from King of Queens, I think.
Not cool, in fact. She is spreading the bad word, not the good word. You know who told me that? Shelley Miscavige, a real person who I did see in person, you know? That's true.
Wow.
Yeah, right? That's Scientology, right? Or is that Mormons? I can never remember. I mix up the two every so often.
Which you probably shouldn't, but that's a whole different thing.
Yeah. But you guys, now we talked about hits. Let's talk about bombs.
Let's talk about bombs.
What do you
I
got?
thought you said moms and we were about to have our MILF cast.
DJ, what's going to be the biggest bomb of 2022? And do it like we usually do by accident. Give us a real one and then a crazy one.
Oh, but I don't have a... Okay, I'll give my real one and then I'll try and figure out a crazy one. So, sticking with my real one, I think Jurassic Park Dominion is going to be the bomb of 2022. I think no one cares about these Jurassic Park movies anymore. People are sick of them. It'll probably do well enough at the box office, but, you know, this might be the last Jurassic Park movie ever, just because the Jurassic World experiment, I think, has been mostly a failure, and no one wants this movie that seemingly is coming out next year, or this year, so... I just don't see how it can be good and it won't bomb. So I got that for my biggest bomb in 2022. Talk about that while I figure out a nuclear one.
Yeah, I mean, those movies aren't very good. And I think we've all turned on Chris Pratt enough that no one... I think this is like the turning point where after this and Garfield and Mario, it'll be like movies with him, no thank you. Also, like, I just don't know who the audience is anymore. I don't know. Maybe it'll be cool, but I don't see it.
Is there a franchise with a worse hit rate than Jurassic Park? Because, like...
they have one good movie.
They have one, like, legitimately good movie. I think 2 is fun, although maybe not good. And then the rest of them are garbage.
Yeah, I mean, that is gotta be up there, like, with the worst franchises of all time. The first one's just perfect, though. Like, it's so damn good.
Oh, the first one's phenomenal.
It's like the best movie. But yeah, it stinks. Like all of them as a whole. It's just, I'd say, I'm going to talk about franchises that are, like, creatively bankrupt. It is just, like, a franchise with one idea that keeps trying to redo that and recapture the magic. And it's just like, of course you can't. Not with this. Like, dinosaurs being on it only works once. Maybe twice. But, yeah. I don't know what the new one is, though. That's the only X factor here. Maybe the new one has, like, a cool premise, but I think it's just dinosaurs, like... at the beach or whatever now. So
isn't it like dinosaurs just live in the United States now because they got released at the end of the last one?
Yeah, we have dinosaurs now. Go us.
Woo.
Yeah, that little clone girl who pressed the button to release them, remember?
God, yeah.
Yeah, what's your crazy prediction, DJ?
All right, here's my nuclear one. I think Lightyear's going to be the biggest bomb of 2022.
I don't think that's crazy
probably
at
not
all.
even going to go to theaters.
Really?
We'll never be able to
crazy?
be a bomb.
I saw that the first time I saw it, I was like, who is this for?
Fucking kids, like, you know, or millenniums with good memories of Toy Story. There's an audience out there for this movie.
Millennials, DJ. Respect your elders.
Millennian.
Not uns. Or millennians, excuse me.
I think that's a pretty out there take that Lightyear could be the biggest bomb in 2022. What do you want me to say? Thor: Love and Thunder is going to be the biggest bomb in 2022. We put a Diggins take out there where like the best movie is going to be a bomb.
Yeah. Well,
I think it's my best nuclear one that could reasonably happen.
The thing with Lightyear is it does seem like there's some sort of weird movement to put the Pixar movies right to Disney Plus. So like that Turning Red movie, apparently like that just
right.
they just decided that, and like
I was excited for that movie. I am still excited for that movie.
But Nando, Lightyear stars a white man, so probably they're going to let it go in theaters.
That's true.
I was surprised by that Turning Red news. Real quick, I was very surprised by that.
Yeah,
did they not like have like faith in it? Like I thought that was nuts.
I'm assuming they just know something about Disney Plus subscriptions. Like you got to have a new movie out every this long, otherwise people start losing it. It's so opaque. We have no idea what any of the incentives are for any of this. But I mean, I think this Buzz Lightyear movie might be cool. Kind of looks cool with all the space stuff, but I do think it could bomb for sure. Because who gives a shit? But it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think it could go either way, and you know that's what I'm giving.
It doesn't.
I don't have anything more nuclear than that. I'm not bold enough.
He doesn't have the little robot friend, and I hate his tiny face. They made him look more realistic, and it's horrific.
Yeah, I do like
Get
that
these
picture.
tiny faces out of my...
I do really like that picture where he's standing in front of the suit, but he's butt naked. It's really funny. Like, if that's the only thing that came out of it, I'm like, that's pretty good. Diggins, what do you think? Biggest bomb of 2022? I want 2 predictions, a real one and a silly one.
Well, I feel like my real one is kind of a nuclear one, but
let's go.
I'll lead,
so brave.
I'll lead with my real one. Which is, I think, Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever will be the big bomb of 2021.
What? Wow. I'm not surprised.
Because it's too woke, right, Diggins?
Yeah, because it's too woke. People want the white
culture.
people to be the leaders of the movies again. No.
Yep.
It's just, so, of course, Chadwick Boseman tragically died. And then the Academy Awards tried to honor him because they thought they were going to give him Best Actor, but then they didn't, and it was really awkward.
Anthony Hopkins!
He wasn't even there.
Sure. Good night. I'm already sleeping.
Oh, my God.
We have all those robots of him from Westworld. We couldn't just roll one of them out? Come on. Think about it, guys.
But anyway, and, like, of course, you know, that's awful, and he was great as Black Panther, but they don't seem to have recast him. There's no word on what they're gonna do, as far as I know, about him not being able to be in the movie. I hear it's going to focus more on Shuri, but, like, is he going to have died in between the movies? Is he just gonna be like, oh yeah, he's in the other room, don't worry about it?
Yeah.
I don't know. None of those seem like good solutions, and there's been production troubles because that new lead, Shuri, is played by an actress, Letitia Wright, who
She's been doing a lot of her own research.
Doing a lot of her own research, you know. Maybe if she has a friend who took the vaccine and his balls swelled up. I know that's not Letitia Wright, but still.
I mean, it's happening so frequently, you know. Everybody knows at least one person with the big old balls from the vaccine.
Yeah, it's true. Which has made production troubled because there are countries she cannot travel to because she's not vaccinated, and those are countries where they want to do filming.
Wasn't she excommunicado from Disney?
They definitely don't seem to be happy with her if these rumors are true. But yeah, I mean, I don't think she will die in this movie, but it does seem like if there's truth to these rumors, there's a very I imagine her chances of being the new Black Panther are slim to none.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're going to do about the main character of this movie, and then Ryan Coogler's came back, and he's a great director and a great writer, and so it's possible that he will overcome these challenges and turn out a great movie. But I just feel like Disney is probably going to take the wrong lessons from Black Panther being such an unexpected hit, where it was not only hugely financially successful and people loved it, but also got a lot of prestige. It was nominated for an Oscar. People kind of hold it up as being like the Marvel movie that was like the most thematically rich, I guess you could say.
Right, in the pre-Ant-Man 2 era.
Yep, before Ant-Man 2, of course.
Yeah, it came out right before. So,
and I feel like in the grand Disney tradition, rather than being like, oh man, these guys did great, let's let them just do whatever again, and it'll probably be great again, they'll get micromanagey about it and like really, really go for recapturing that magic in a way that's not going to help. So I don't know. There's just a lot of things about it that make me nervous, and I feel like this one's not going to be so hot, you guys.
I'm with you.
I'm with you too. Well, I'm not with you, but I can see it. I see what you're saying.
Oh no, I'm with you. I
just don't think it'll come out this year. I think it's going to get bumped. So as far as predictions go, that's the only reason I don't think that's a solid one. But yeah,
I could see that as well.
Well, since you only have the one pick, which is fine, since it's both, I'm gonna do mine, and I actually changed it since last time we talked. I've kind of nailed two that I'm like, that one probably will be though, but I'm gonna go with one specific one that I think the more I look at it on this picture of movies coming out in the next year, I'm like, yeah, there's no way. I think Top Gun Maverick's gonna be the biggest bomb of 2022. That movie's gonna be expensive. And it has who's that one for? Like, it might be good,
dads.
But
it's for dads.
Yeah, sometimes those do well, but I just don't buy it. Which is a bummer, because sometimes it's cool when they really go for it, like they do like this, really. It there's the half-assed sequels, and then this well, we're gonna really put the money in, and we're gonna get as many of the people back as we can. So there could be something there. I don't think Miles Teller is the hottest thing right now. I can't remember who the other actor in it is besides Tom Cruise.
You don't think he's still eating out on that incredible Fantastic performance?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like he's like one of those guys that every single time I see him move with him, I'm like, but is he good? Do people like him, or is he awful? Who knows? But yeah, I've heard no buzz about this movie. Nobody gives a shit about planes. That's the other thing. Just the idea of it's about planes. Who cares? Planes are cool, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, I don't think there's any future for this. I will say, as a secondary easy one, I think Dumbledore and His Fantastic Crimes of Dumbledore is going to be a big old bomb, but.
That's the coldest take imaginable.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I didn't put it in here. But I do think people might be remiss if people why didn't they even say the biggest bomb's going to be the biggest bomb? I will say I think the biggest bomb of the year in terms of the crazy prediction. I said this to us last time, so it shouldn't shock you guys. Is Avatar 2. I think this movie is not it's not going to work. Yeah,
it's a really good one.
I don't buy it. I think as much as I like some of these people, like Kate Winslet, Michelle Yeoh, there's some interesting, names attached to this that weren't in the first one. Vin Diesel, maybe, I guess. But, what do you have to say? This movie maybe won't be any good. But I think there's a shot this one doesn't come out this year. But I almost feel like whoever's making, Disney, is we're going to put this movie out. We've taken so long. There's been so much, is it going to come out this year? Is it going to come out this year? That, if they kind of got it, they're going to go for it. And yeah, I think this is going to be the big bomb of 2022. I hope not, because it could be cool. I'd like it if they made a cool movie everybody liked, but I also think not having the gimmick of 3D being a big thing is going to be kind of weird for this movie.
It's so weird to think about how 3D movies were once so huge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know people that had 3D TVs just so they could watch 3D movies.
I can't believe that used to be a thing.
I
That's
know.
Crazy.
And it's a thing that, speaking of little robots that, do your dishes and stuff, it was one of those things that's the future, Grandpa Wookie will be watching virtual porn right in the middle of the living room. Like, it's going to be right out in front of him. Like, it's so obvious. But yeah, they just weren't ready for it. Like, there's a big difference between holograms and dorky glasses.
Did somebody mention watching VR porn in the middle of your living room?
Oh, no. Get him out of here.
You thought you would go an entire podcast without me, didn't you?
It's been too long. You missed your moment. You missed your moment. It's too late.
Merovingian, real quick, what do you think is going to be the biggest bomb of 2022? Since we got you.
The biggest bomb of 2022, of course, is going to be The Matrix Resurrections, because it is another one of those sequels they keep churning out. Instead of people reading books, they just make their big dumb action movies that rot your brain and all the other things I said. I hate them.
No, you.
Point taken, Merv.
I believe you. And since there's no one here to like, you know, confront you on this, I think we are all in agreement. Matrix not that great.
Agreed.
All right. Well,
everyone on this podcast thinks that unequivocally.
Yeah, unequivocally. So it's been great to have you, Merv. I'd love to get Diggins back if you can, because we got to talk about blank will surprise everyone by actually being blank.
Are you sure you do not want me to make another couple sexual innuendos before I go?
Okay, real quick.
Yeah.
How about here's what we'll do. I'm gonna give you a word. This is gonna be like improv. Okay. Accordion.
Okay, hold on. No, hold on. I can do this. I am the Merovingian.
I think your confidence has been shook.
I think we can come to some accord in your pants. Yes.
Oh,
boo,
very good.
Boo.
Oh my God. DJ's just angry because
I didn't think of it.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Well, Merv, that's been terrific. See if Diggins has a thing that from the thing that I said about surprising everyone by actually being blank.
Otherwise it's yours. If he doesn't come and says his own, it's good.
I have a key party to get to, so I will leave you be now. Goodbye.
Oh my God, he'd be amazing at key parties because he has a little key guy. He is the key master.
Oh
key
my
maker.
God, it's true.
So she just go in and pick up everybody's keys and be like, I get to fuck everybody, even people that aren't in this room, because I have their keys. Amazing. Anyway, Diggins, blank will surprise everyone by actually being blank. What do you got?
Well, Nando, it's great that it's worked out that I'm going right after you, because my thing for this is Avatar 2 will surprise everybody by being interesting. Now,
interesting indeed.
This is not in tension with yours necessarily, because it could still be bad but be interesting. Because
like
the main criticism, not where I was going with this.
Lena is stinker.
Because I think a thing that gets leveled against the first Avatar a lot is that people don't understand why it was one of the most successful movies of all time, because it's just like this very straightforward, Pocahontas dances with wolves kind of story about an indigenous peoples being attacked by a imperialist force, and one of those white people being like, maybe I shouldn't genocide a people for money. And so I think that's been a main criticism of Avatar, is that it's not very interesting when you get down to it. So I think that this Avatar 2, regardless of its quality, is going to go to a weirder place. I think it's going to be a less like classic or straightforward story, and is going to be something where people go like, huh, that's what they ended up going with. Ooh, wasn't expecting that. That is my specific prediction here. Not that it will be a hit, not that it or a bomb, not that it will be good or bad. Implicit in this is that it will come out, sure, but the specific prediction is that it will be interesting.
Interesting. It might be, but I got one. You guys, I think the Halo show will surprise everyone by actually being great.
Oh,
just like Venom 2.
A Halo show this year?
I constantly forget that that's happening, but I do know it.
It's like Paramount Plus, I think, is making it or something. One of those, I don't know. It's impossible to remember. But I don't know. There's just something about the prospect of them actually putting money into this and like really going for it, and like the wild lore of the Halo-verse, that it's like if they did a good job, this could be a big hit. And like,
so you're predicting like an Arcane-like rise?
Yeah, at least. I think like like more than Arcane. Because I think Halo is more ubiquitous culturally. Like, I think this could be like a Game of Thrones kind of situation.
Oh, wow. You're really... Oh, wow.
Well, I think Paramount Plus knows that they need a big old win. And I could see them really going for it, trying to get them, like, their streaming service on the map with this. And, like, I think Halo's cool. Like, I think if this is good, this has a lot of potential to, like, people be kind of reassessing, like, oh, yeah, that is cool. This giant man with a gun fighting all of these weird, like, dinosaur alien guys. But then more you get into it, the more it's like they're the Forerunners and the Prometheans. There's just so much wild lore associated with it that I think it will be fun. So I don't know. I'm hoping it's good, just as like a person who wants good television. But also, like, this has also been one of those things that has been kicking around forever as like a project that Hollywood's been thinking about, and it's like, maybe they finally figured it out. I don't know. It might be a big bomb. DJ, what do you got?
All right, so this is kind of out there, and I actually think with all of ours, it's going to be pretty hard to measure. Like, will Avatar 2 be interesting? I guess it'd be easy to measure if the Halo show's amazing, but I'm saying that Turning Red will surprise everyone by being the best Pixar movie.
Whoa.
Wow.
That is a bold statement.
You're saying this with Luca in the room. He can hear you.
I have like a really good feeling about this. I don't know. I really like the trailer. I think the story's interesting. I think the animation style is fun. I think Pixar's kind of been on a roll where they're playing outside of the box and getting like really good, fun movies like a Luca. And
like a Luca. Now that's a name for a movie. Get Laika in there, and then they can make their own Luca, and that would be the best thing ever.
That's the sequel to Luca, where they move to New Jersey, and they're like, it's like a Luca!
It's like a Luca!
Over here. Yeah.
But I really think Turning Red could be that, like, and because I don't think Pixar has another second movie coming out in 2022, do they? I think it's
DJ
just
has
Turning
like,
Red.
Are you like this is goldfish memory stuff right here? You want to take a guess? Like, what could it possibly be?
Make DJ guess.
Oh God.
They might have one. Right.
Lightyear. Yep.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
I even think they might have a third one.
Not according to their website.
Okay. Yeah.
According to their website, they have these two.
Yeah. I mean, I think Turning Red could be pretty cool. Who's making?
I think it'll be better than Lightyear for sure.
I feel like the Lightyear trailer looked cool. If it wasn't Buzz Lightyear, if it was just like some thing, just like some spaceman animated
something.
movie.
That's the thing. It being Buzz Lightyear just instantly makes it utterly uninteresting to me.
I mean, yeah, that's fair, but also I think it might still be cool. Like, I think it could. I think it. If you take it away divorced from that context, it might rule.
I don't know. It's like. We're well removed from talking about this, but when I saw the Snake Eyes trailer for the first time, I was like watching it and I was like, oh, this looks pretty cool actually. Like with the fight scenes and motorcycle stunts, I was like, this might be like a cool little action movie. And then like G.I. Joe comes up and I'm like, oh fuck. No, this is bad actually.
That's something Cobra would say if you ask me. I don't think we can trust Diggins, DJ. I think he's Cobra.
I don't think so either. I mean, I thought he's Cobra this whole time. I don't want to say anything, but I think you're right.
Yeah, I feel like this Turning Red movie. The problem with this one is I just don't know what it is. Like I know what the girl's like power kind of is, but I just don't know what the movie is.
I just think it's one of the Pixar's like it's an analogy for a thing, and in this movie it's going through puberty.
I was going to say, what's an analogy? Could you be more specific?
I actually don't know where you're going.
Could you be more specific about what aspect of female puberty the movie Turning Red is about?
Yeah,
just changes.
Yeah. I don't get it. Can you explain?
No.
What if Lightyear is a metaphor for a specific kind of male puberty? It's all about getting hair on your balls or something like that. Like we don't know that, but like that's 2022 Pixar. It's like we're doing both. They made Pixar. Like, it'd be really funny if there was like a really indignant jerk in charge of Lightyear. And it was like, you guys are making one for women. All right, well, we're going to make Lightyear just for the guys. And it's about the voice dropping and stuff. That'd be so funny.
It's about how small your face gets when you go through puberty. You just get tiny face.
Tiny face, huge
Tiny
chin.
little face. Oh, my God.
Oh. So, Seeing Red,
that's
huh?
mine. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Now that we did that, we got one more thing to do.
Last one. Wrap it up.
Last
The
one
year
that
of
I
the thing.
definitely have a thing for.
Well, I will go first since that's the rotation. That's where it's put us at this point. So this is blank, or 2022 will be the year of the blank. So this is what will define, looking back, 2022. I think, and I'm like, this is like the safest bet of all time. But I do think just based on like entertainment and kind of trends, I think 2022 is the year of the multiverse. Like, we are getting Spider-Man, we are getting The Flash, and we are getting Doctor Strange. Probably some other stuff too on Disney Plus or whatever. But like, I think those 3 movies will be the 3 biggest movies of the year, save for maybe like Aquaman. And like, it'll just be like, yeah, this is what the people wanted. Like, that will be, you know, it'll just be like, you know, multiverse stuff. What's your multiverse stuff? Well, ours is this guy. What's yours? Ours is Batman. And yours, Oscar Isaac is flying around in Spider-Man. And it's like, great. That's all anybody wants. And I think we got some of that this year, but I think this, like, we got some of that in 2021, but I think 2022 is going to be the year like everybody does it. So,
Okay.
it's a safe bet, but it's good. I need a win here. So that's my win. What about you, DJ?
All right, we'll get the key codes out because I'm going nuclear with this one.
Okay.
All right. I think that 2022 will be the year that the DCEU takes over the MCU in the movie Superhero Wars.
Whoa.
Absolutely insane.
So, well, here, listen. I think we're getting to a point with Marvel stuff in general. And, you know, obviously Spider-Man was a huge hit, but if we look at the body of work, I think people are getting a little fatigued, you know, especially with the TV shows. I think the TV shows have been very underwhelming, and we're getting way more TV stuff next year than movie stuff. So I think what's happening, it's like, oh my God, I got to follow everything, and it's all this stuff, and it's all connected, and I just can't do it anymore. And I think with DC, if like Batman, Black Adam, The Flash are like hits, plus you get the, like you said, like the TV shows get absorbed to HBO Max and like they're really good. I could see people being like, you know what, this is easier, it's better content. I like these DC movies are just way better. I don't have to track. I know you're saying there's gonna be like multiverse stuff with Flash, but I don't think it'll be as confusing as all the Marvel stuff they're gonna throw at you, because I think my biggest quibble with Marvel at this point is that everything is just about the next thing. Like, what's the next teaser? What's the next reveal? What's the next thing? Whereas, like, I think DC's just, you know, trying to get in the game. For a while, I think they were trying to catch up to Marvel with, like, Justice League, but now I think they're maybe content to do their own thing. So I could see if DC just puts out really quality stuff. If, like, Aquaman 2 is amazing, I could really see them taking the championship belt from Marvel. I know it's crazy, but I think it's possible. I might look like a damn fool in a year.
See,
but
I feel like it makes sense. I don't think Aquaman 2 comes out this year. I think that gets bumped.
All right,
I think Aquaman 2 and Black Panther both get bumped. But
okay.
I think the thing with Marvel this year is a lot of their shows are origins shows, like She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, which maybe that won't come out because maybe that's getting reshot, and Moon Knight. I feel like that is what people want now. And I think that's why Black Adam has a good shot at being, like, pretty popular.
Right.
But I think the idea that it's, like, I think those two things specifically, Moon Knight and She-Hulk, might save them. Although I do think Love and Thunder could be pretty cool. I think that is going to be a late game, like, late season kind of like, oh, right, they're good at this. Not like Spider-Man, because it won't come in, like, December, but I think that'll be the, like, never mind. But I think they'll come close. Like, DC will have a run. Batman looks great. Black Adam, and then others.
Are we supposed to get a Batgirl movie?
I don't know if that's
or something?
this year, but it is happening.
Okay.
I don't know what the timeline for a lot of that stuff is. And it's the same with Marvel stuff. Like, they're saying, like, Secret Invasion, and it's like, when's that coming out? You didn't say when. But, like,
it's just, if you were to listen to a certain YouTube channel that Nando, you've recommended before, that did a little recap on the Marvel Universe and what it would be like to live
and
in
that
there.
YouTube channel
at the end
is called Nando v Movies.
Had a little meta commentary about how it's nearly suffocating to be in the MCU, but also suffocating to follow the MCU from an outside perspective, because there's so many things and it doesn't stop. And if you were to list them, you would just go insane with, oh my God, I have to follow all this stuff and it's exhausting. And how could it all be good? It can't possibly all be good. Look at the television shows. Most of them aren't good.
Wow. That's actually
listen.
close.
The best part of Hawkeye was the post-credit scene in the last episode. Save the City was like my song of 2021, and it was like the best thing to come out of that freaking show.
Yeah, I agree. Here's the thing. Do you remember how the episode of that one YouTube channel we were talking about ends? Mm-hmm. He's just like, what's coming up next? Oh, that looks awesome. Maybe it'll all be good. I don't know. That's the thing. I feel like the Marvel juggernaut is so big that it's just like big, giant movie with all the stars we love. Yeah, that's going to make money. But I understand the concern. Yeah.
That's where my logic is coming from.
I feel your pain. I mean, I hope Batman is good.
I hope everything is good. I want everything we cover to be good.
Nah, I want a couple bad things every so often.
You need a money plane.
The hope alive,
You need a Fantastic Beasts every once in a while, just to feel alive.
Exactly. I want some trash, but I would like these big ones to be good because they're usually pretty cool. But
yeah, for sure.
Diggins, have you figured out anything?
Absolutely. 2022. Listen, there's one thing in life that always keeps us going. There's one thing in life that we love above all else that always gets us coming back for more. That's been popular for over 100 years and will never stop being popular. For over 200 years, really, and will never stop being popular. Because 2022 will be the year of the mystery. Whoa.
Oh.
Explain yourself, mister.
Well,
very good.
I just think 2022 is going to be a year where inherently mystery-driven narrative is going to be the watchword. And that can mean a lot of things. That can mean like very classic murder mysteries, because Death on the Nile comes out in February. Knives Out 2 is supposed to come out this year. A classic cozy, people sitting in a mansion, somebody gets murdered, and somebody figures it out. But it could mean other things, too. The Batman is starring the Riddler, or rather, the featured villain for the Batman is the Riddler, famously the one who leaves clues and riddles and mysteries behind for Batman to solve. So I think we can safely assume that that's going to be a very mystery-focused Batman movie. Nando, you yourself said Moon Knight is going to be a very heavily mystery narrative of him trying to figure out what... where he ended up in the circumstances, what of his memories is real and isn't real. I think there's gonna be a lot of like big mystery narratives like that. And then also just in general, I think there's gonna be a revival of interest, in the kind of classic like murder mystery, riddles, etc. kind of, storytelling because of those big successes. That's gonna carry throughout the whole year. So
is it but about a certain secrets of a certain headmaster, that's a mystery too.
That's true.
What are Dumbledore's secrets of Dumbledore?
That's true. At the up until the last Fantastic Beasts movie, we were like, yes, a drama about a man being unwilling to confront a great evil because that great evil takes the form of the only man he ever loved. That's a perfectly reasonable explanation that we all understand. And then the end of that movie is like, actually, there's a magic bullshit about it. And we're like, what? And now we got to figure out what that magic bullshit is.
Yeah.
It's our favorite thing.
There's so many good mysteries for this year. Like, they're making a sequel to Orphan. Remember Orphan?
Are they? Really?
Apparently. Got a list here. It's called Orphan First Kill. So it's a prequel, I guess, but...
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I could stretch the definition of mystery out to a lot of things. I was trying to stick with the inarguable ones in description.
There are a couple. We got Scream coming out soon. That is a straight up mystery. Like
Scream is Scream is a very much a murder mystery.
There's some mysterious movie by Jordan Peele.
Heidi ho! Am I making a movie?
Jordan Peele's making a movie, very mysterious. So Uncharted is all about Tom Cruise turning little dials or something to learn mysteries.
You mean Tom Holland?
Oh, Tom Holland, excuse me.
Yeah, Uncharted is usually kind of like a
mystery.
Uncharted is usually, if they follow the game leads, is usually a mystery where it's like, we got to find this artifact and figure out what it does and like what happened to this ancient civilization or whatever.
Yeah, what about Ambulance? That movie where it's an ambulance of mystery. Amberlance. Oh, speaking of multiverse, what about that movie with Michelle Yeoh? That's a multiverse one, huh? So many multiverses.
Oh, Everything Everywhere All at Once?
My prediction's only getting better as the time goes on.
I'm very excited for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. And so, yeah, lots of great stuff. Yeah. I buy it. I think there's something there.
Yeah, I like that.
So all in all, we're mostly all right, except for those two, except for DJ's two.
I'm probably going to be so wrong again.
I
might get 0.
I'm looking forward to looking back at 2022 when we find out that all my predictions were correct and I'm cool and smart.
Listen, we just got to make it to 2020. That's all I'm asking for. I don't ask for a lot on this show. It's just let's get there, and then we'll see.
Yeah.
But you guys, those are all great ones. Right. If anybody else has some that they think of and you want us to read them next week, maybe let us know what you think 2022 will be the year of and stuff like that.
And I believe we said this at the end of last episode, but we're going to do listener questions formally next episode.
Yes.
We've gotten a couple already, but this is your last call. If you have any listener questions, you can send it to... You can tweet it at us. You could send it to our email, which I don't think we ever say. You could send it to one of us individually. Just, whatever.
DMs are open.
Yeah. You'll get it to us. So
at a minimum, the Twitter account. We'll if you tweet at us, we'll definitely see it.
Yeah, it's a good place to start.
Nitpicking Pod.
So now that we've gotten that out of the way, do you guys want to hit our classic segment?
I would love that. Segment.
Let's do it. DJ, do you have anything to recommend to the fine people?
I do. All right, so let me go with what I alluded to earlier. A little show on Fox called Next Level Chef. It's also on Hulu, which is my preferred way to watch it. Okay, so the premise of the show is there's 15 chefs, and it seems like most of these chefs are famous for being famous on TikTok and social media and stuff like that.
Oh,
I did not realize this.
Always a recipe for success.
Yeah. So I didn't realize this, but apparently a lot of home cooks will go on Twitch and show off their cooking stuff. Oh, yeah. I wasn't aware Twitch was a popular platform to demonstrate cooking.
Yeah, I know someone who does that, actually.
It was actually funny. So this lady was so Gordon Ramsay's the one who heads it. There's two other chefs who whatever, they don't matter because they're not Gordon Ramsay. And he's like, "What do you do?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm a chef on Twitch." And he goes, "What the fuck is Twitch?" And the actual Twitch Twitter account said that for their description of the Twitter account was Gordon Ramsay's scrambled eggs recipe stan account, because Gordon Ramsay is a very famous scrambled egg recipe on YouTube that's just really good, and I've made it, and it's awesome. That's another thing. If you've never seen it, look up Gordon Ramsay's scrambled egg recipe. It's so freaking good.
I don't love it. I've tried it, and I don't know. I don't think it's worth the
Michelle's
work.
The same way. She likes a more firm consistency to her scrambled eggs, so Gordon Ramsay's one doesn't really work for her, but I love it.
I remember.
I guess it depends on where you stand with that.
I remember the week it happened, the week that kind of went through the internet. So this was forever ago.
Yeah,
I was in an Uber with some, I was just taking an Uber, and the guy that was the Uber driver were chatting because he picked me up, and he was like, "Oh, I used to work at this restaurant. I was the chef at this place that, I don't know, closed or whatever." And I was like, "Oh, that place is cool." And I asked him, I was like, "What? Have you ever seen that video of Gordon Ramsay making the scrambled eggs with all that weird stuff?" And he was like, "If anybody ever came into my kitchen and tried to make scrambled eggs like that, I would kick them out immediately." I'm like, "Yeah, that's what I'm talking about."
Oh, well.
Yeah, no, they might be good, though. I don't know. It's been a while since I had them. Maybe I messed it up.
I like them.
But anyway, so this show.
So the show. So yeah, they get all these Twitch and TikTok chefs, and they're drafted onto teams of these three chefs. So they're like professional chefs. It's like Gordon Ramsay, and I honestly don't know the other two, but Gordon Ramsay's like, these are the top chefs in America, so I'll believe him. So there in this kitchen there are 3 kitchens. There's the bottom one, which is the worst one. There's the middle one, which is like an average restaurant kitchen, and then the top one is like the best kitchen ever. It's like a future kitchen. It probably has a robot or whatever. And the teams get randomly assigned to the kitchens, and then they got to make a meal based on an ingredient. And the way the ingredients work is there's like this dumb waiter, and then it comes down, and the top chef they get all the best ingredients, and then the middle kitchen gets the next pick, and then the bottom kitchen gets like the worst pick of the litter in terms of ingredients. So you have to like make a dish with a theme, and it's like all that standard stuff. And then if you make the best dish, your team is safe. And then the other 2 teams have to pick a chef to be put up for elimination. There's a cook-off with a blind taste test, and then someone's eliminated. I find it to be pretty fun. While picking a bunch of chefs based off being TikTok and Twitch famous might not be great for the actual product, it's at a minimum very entertaining. And it's like, if you ever watch like Hell's Kitchen, it's just fun to watch like the Gordon Ramsay interactions. And, they really like dial up the drama, and it's just like an interesting concept. Like, it's very goofy and kitschy, but if you like any of those like silly cooking shows, I think this one's worth watching. It's not quality, but it's fun.
This gimmick is insane. Diggins, did you look at it yet? Have you seen like the kitchens?
Yeah, I saw the like 3 split level kitchen. It's very silly.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, Give it an episode. They're only hour-long episodes, so, like, it's not too bad. Most of it can be, like, background. But I would say, like, give one episode a try and see where you land. The first episode is pretty fun. And there's been 2 out so far. And I like it.
I didn't realize the dumbwaiter. It's like that movie. Did you guys see that movie? It's like a Spanish language movie where it was like a jail where there's lots of food on the top, and then the platform, and maybe it's called The Platform, goes down, and they take food from it, and then by the end there's none. It's just like that. It's like that in a dollhouse, and it's a competition. Amazing.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's great. So definitely would recommend that. A couple more things. So are you guys familiar with this little TV show called Joe Millionaire?
I've heard of it.
I loved Joe Millionaire. I watched the first season and maybe even the second one because I think they did something similar second season.
There was only 1 season.
But
I think so.
I think I might have watched another one that was the same thing called I Want to Marry Harry. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, that I
same
did
premise.
So
same
yeah,
premise.
I guess I watched both of them.
So the premise of the original Joe Millionaire was they had this guy. It was like a dating competition like The Bachelor. And it's like, we got this guy. He's a millionaire. But in actuality, he was like a farmer, like a construction worker or something like that.
Yeah.
And he was like basically dirt poor. So they deceived all these women into thinking they were vying for some millionaire's affection. But actually, he was like a dirt poor farmer. And it came out in 2003, and there was only 1 season because maybe deceiving like 20 women about, someone they would marry is not a great look. So they've rebooted it. They've done another Joe Millionaire. So here's the premise this time. There are 2 quote-unquote Joes. And they tell the women from the get-go, one of these guys is incredibly rich and the other is not. One of the guys is like the CEO of this multi-million-dollar farming company he owns in Missouri, or like his family owned. And then the other is like he just started his own construction company out of like Chicago or something like that. But he doesn't have a lot of money because it's a lot of work to start your own company. And they don't know which one is like the rich guy and which one is the, self-starter, quote unquote, like, middle class poor guy. So that's the conceit. So it's like, we're not deceiving women. We're seeing if you could fall on someone knowing that they might be rich or they might be poor. It's called like Joe Millionaire for richer or for poorer.
I have seen.
It's cool that they picked a perfect blend where I could be like, no matter which one of you I pick, you're definitely a Republican.
Yeah, it's funny that the poorer is like, I'm just starting a business. Like,
yeah, right,
I don't know,
yeah.
man.
I feel like the choice is not like rich person or poor person. The choice is like rich person or person who is rich but gets to say, "Oh, I'm not rich. I just make $200,000 a year."
Yeah,
that's
right.
barely enough to live off of.
It's business owner or small business owner. Like, It's not hard to find people that are poor if you want to have a richer
Like
and
actually
poorer
poor,
season.
yeah.
Those people exist. Do you think the producer's just like really rich and I was like, well, what are we gonna do? Have them show up with their open tuna cans and their skeletons of fish that they're eating off of a trash lid? No, we need a poor person, but someone respectable. Let's get someone who makes $300,000 a year. That's a poor. Yeah. Also, I think my guy is a cartoon cat specifically, so maybe that wouldn't work for that reason.
Yeah, it's Tom from Tom and Jerry is going to be competing in this.
Yeah. So yes,
it's like an entertaining competition, very much in line with The Bachelor. I would say you kind of know what you're getting here. Watch the first episode, which came out. It's funny enough. If you're not into dating shows, you probably won't like this. So probably a hard pass. But again, I watched the first episode and I did enjoy it. This one is also on Fox and Hulu. Big Fox recommendation week for me. Maybe that would explain the casting too. Who knows? And then the last thing I just want to recommend and throw out there. Have you guys heard of a little game called Wordle?
Yep, I've heard of it.
Yeah, so I love Wordle. We play Wordle. If you're not sure what it is.
Hold on. I've heard of it.
Hey, just Google it. It's a little daily word game that I think is a lot of fun, and probably all your friends think are a lot of fun. So this is not much of a recommendation, but I want to throw it out there. I really have been enjoying Wordle. Have you guys been enjoying Wordle?
Yeah, I've been doing
it. Do you
it.
share your Wordles?
I do.
I don't share my
Wordles,
texting you but I do them.
I consistently share my Wordles. I'll start texting you guys my Wordles.
I think it's funny. Listen, I love. Well, no, that's not true. People on Twitter that are annoying. There's lots of them, and there's levels, and this isn't the worst one. But I do think it's so funny when people are like, I don't even know what this is, and retweet when it's like, I don't know, fucking Google Wordle. That's the only word in the whole thing. You can figure it out. It's not that complicated. We get it. You don't do the popular thing, but yeah. I mean, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. Just want to throw it out there. So those are all my recs for this week.
Cool. Diggins, what about you? You got anything to recommend to the fine people?
In a shocking deviation from previous weeks, I watched a bunch of movies this week.
Hey.
Are you doing another Criterion challenge this year?
I haven't decided yet, but no, I've been watching a bunch of movies that came out last year before I write my top 10 of the year.
Oh, nice.
Just real quick, 4 movies that I watched, all of which I enjoyed. I watched The Power of the Dog.
Was it good?
I really liked it. Yeah, it's a Western drama on Netflix with a Wimbledon tennis match as a cantankerous rancher who his brother marries a widow, and so she and her son move into the ranch with them, and he is not happy about that. I will say it takes some interesting turns from there, actually. I didn't fully expect where it ended up. But it's very much a very quiet kind of story about Benedict Cumberbatch's character is kind of the main focus of it, and just why he is the way he is, and what ends up happening with this new family that lives there that he doesn't want to be there. It's all very interesting in a way that I didn't expect, and so I don't want to say more than that. Then I watched Zola, which is the first movie adapted from a Twitter thread.
Oh my god.
It's pretty funny. It's just like this bonkers story of a girl who this one girl she just happens to meet one night at her job is like, hey, I'm going down to Florida to go dance at some strip clubs because you can make a lot of money there. And Zola, the girl telling the story, is also a stripper, so that's not like a crazy thing to say to her. And she's like, yeah, okay, why not? And it just turns out this insane petty crime rabbit hole she ends up going down because she agreed to go on this trip. It's It's pretty funny. I think it adapts the rhythms of like a Twitter thread pretty well in creative ways. As far as they made a movie adapted by from a Twitter thread, I could imagine so much worse than this.
I mean, we're getting a movie adapted from a tweet with the Moon's Haunted tweet movie.
Yeah, Moon's Haunted.
Moon's
That's
Haunted,
true.
Moonfall, whatever. So
I can't tell if I'm dreading or excited for that. I think excited. But anyway, yeah, so that's a fun movie. Then I watched Annette, a French, well, it's English language, but it was made by a French filmmaker. Musical, with music by the Sparks Brothers, if you saw that documentary I wrecked a few months back.
Nice.
Starring Adam Driver and Marion Cotillard. It is very operatic, is how I would describe it. It's one of those things where the characters kind of more represent ideas than they do specific characters. But I think it's very big and very weird in a way that I really liked. And I think if that appeals to you, then I would watch it. It's another one of those things where it's like, I don't want to describe what happens in it too much. But it's essentially about a whirlwind romance between a stand-up comic and an opera singer. And it goes from there. Then the last movie I watched this week is Wheel of Fortune and Fantasy, which, good luck watching it, because I only managed to catch it at a Museum of the Moving Image screening the other day.
Wow.
It's not
what is it?
really out. It's a Japanese movie, so it's not really out in the U.S. yet. But it is a kind of an anthology movie. It is 3 short stories about people having to confront their ideas and expectations of love because of completely random coincidences where they happen to meet a person or have a chance encounter that brings up those ideas. It's very sweet. Sweet's not exactly the right word. Bittersweet is more accurate, but it's very lovely. I think very gentle in a way that that is very affecting. I think the last story especially really got to me. So when that is out in the U.S., then you should definitely track that one down because it's very nice. Those are all the movies I watched.
I'll tell you,
Nice.
man, I really want to watch Power of the Dog and Licorice Pizza probably, but those titles are just horrible. I hate them both so much. The Power of the Dog feels like, I don't know if it's just because there's all those movies like A Dog's Purpose and a dog loves the people so much that it, Kurt Russell or whatever, or some guy that I just can't take it seriously. And I'm sure I heard about it and I was like, oh, Benedict Cumberbatch, that's a good guy. But yeah, so hearing about it all yesterday was more kind of than I've ever thought about it. So I probably will watch that. Licorice Pizza, we'll see. I really can't stand that title, but I'm sure the movie isn't about it.
I will say Power of the Dog, the title is a metaphor. Dogs do not feature heavily in the plot at all.
I hate it.
So there's no dog that dies?
I didn't say that.
Oh. Little tease there.
I was going to say the Power of the Dog, or not. So Power of the Dog won a Golden Globe last night, right?
I believe so.
I think so.
So
Yeah.
I didn't realize that there was no show. It was just the tweets.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't. It wasn't even. They didn't film it for COVID reasons. It was like NBC wouldn't air it.
No way, really?
Yeah, because they were mired in controversy.
Oh, why? What happened? They were bad, like always.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you could pay for a Golden Globe. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
It finally caught up to them. Can you believe it? Can you believe their scam finally caught up to them?
Can you believe it? Yeah. I tell you, man. Listen, Zola or Arnhem, any of you guys want to send me money, I will give you an award for sure. It'll be a cool award. It'll be something that's on my table right now, glued to something else, and then I'll mail that, and that'll be the best movie of all time award. So
I'm going to start the Nandies.
Yeah, and it's just a bunch of people that gave me money to tell everyone their movie was good and gave them an award. But it's specific to them, So Power of the Dog may be best movie, worst title of 2022. That would be its award. I guess it would be of 2021. When did it come out?
It came out 2021. It was towards the end of the year, but yeah, it came out on Netflix. I think in like November or early December or something.
Again, Netflix bad at surfacing new content. It's just it's not a good platform for this. And I think it was up on the top 10 too, and I was like, what the fuck is that? And then I just kind of scrolled by it because your top 10 means nothing. But yeah, cool stuff. I gotta watch that. And maybe the one you mentioned about like Zola. Where did you watch Zola?
It is streaming on Showtime, which is where I watched it.
Okay. All right. Maybe I'll check it out.
If you ask, Showtime will just give you a subscription for free. They're like, yes, take it. Go for it, man.
Cool. Very nice of Showtime.
What about you,
I'm going to
Nando?
recommend a couple things. Yeah, so I got a comic. I started reading a comic called The Terrifics. It came out of the book club conversation where we were talking about Mr. Terrific, and this was post Dark Knight's Metal a couple of years ago. DC made a bunch of fake, like, not like fake because they're real books, but like the conceit was to kind of replicate a Marvel thing. So this one was the Fantastic Four. So it's Mr. Terrific as the Reed, Plastic Man as the Johnny, even though he is the plastic hero, but he fills the Johnny role. Phantom Girl is the Sue. I believe she's a Legion of Superheroes character. I don't know her list. And I'm like almost 100% sure that's true, actually. And then Metamorpho is their Thing. And especially he fits that role very well because besides the fact that he is also kind of made of rocks, he is also like a sad, like, oh, I'm a monster, you can't love me, Sapphire. But the book is fun. It's got a couple teams attached to it, so I think they alternate. But Jeff Lemire and Gene, oh man, I can't remember his name. Hold on, let me see. But it's a good Gene Liun Yang. That's it. But yeah, it's a funny book. It's interesting, and it's just kind of weird. And it's funny because they are hitting a lot of the beats. So like, there's a Galactus that's kind of for them. They have their own Doctor Doom, and so yeah, it's a fun book. So I think it has been since like it's been a while since we did one of these. So I don't think I've wrecked Sex Lives of College Girls yet, right?
I don't believe so. I have heard you talk about it, but I don't think you wrecked it on the podcast.
Right, yeah. So it's great. It's an HBO show. Speaking of HBO being good, it's about a couple, freshmen in college, and they're all, kind of characters. Like, one's mom's a senator, and she plays sports and cool and everything. And then the other one, she's a dorky comedian who's Mindy Kaling, and she's not played by her, but it's by Mindy Kaling, and it's definitely just a self-insert. There's like a dorky one who's Timothée Chalamet's sister, and she looks exactly like him in the face. And then there's a cool popular one who's played by the girl who did Mean Girls on Broadway, and it's a very funny show. It's got a lot of I don't want to say it's got schmaltz, which is what usually turns me off from a sitcom. Like something like like Friends or Mean Girls, where it's like, or not Mean Girls, excuse me, a New Girl, where it's like, oh, it's a real relationship. I like my sitcoms to be generally bad people, but also just like we're aiming for the joke over the like, aw moment. However, this is more of like a dramedy almost. Like it has that very like after school special kind of like serious topics thing. But it handles it in a very funny way. Also, it's HBO, so it's very like, they curse all the time, which is great. They sound like real people, and they talk about sex a lot, and they have sex a lot, and it's like, it's not shot like a porno or anything, but it's got a level of like, this is what sex is really like this is what the experience is, in a way that like you could see this show going on like NBC without this, and it would feel like kind of a almost like neutered version of this show. So it's kind of, I don't know, there's something bold about it in the sense that it's like, it's very silly, but it's also genuine, and it just sounds like people talking. Anyway, I like it. It's a good show. I feel like we watched some other stuff, but that was, it's back, Search Party. Did you guys watch that?
I've never watched it, but I've heard great things about it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Last season is this one, season 5. It goes on really crazy, wild twists and turns. So if you're ever thinking about watching it, don't watch any of the trailers. Just start at 1. because like the difference between season 1 and season 5 it's so insane how much happens. It's a little tough to watch sometimes, but it's pretty funny, and everybody in it is great. Like maybe Bluth, she's great. The guy who plays your boyfriend, whose name I don't know, amazing. Their friend who is the guy on I Think You Should Leave, who doesn't want to pay the bill even though he had the credit card roulette thing going. Like, he's super funny. So yeah, it's a really good show. What are we doing next week, guys?
That's a great question. Now, what are we doing next week?
Yeah. I guess we can do. Let's see. Okay. Here's what we could do.
I'm looking up what's coming out.
And DJ, just you throw out all your thoughts. You give them here. I'll give you a second, and you tell us what you think we should do.
Wow.
Right, we're gonna ignore that.
Not a thought in his head.
Not one. I think we should do. We could do Spy Kids, and we want to do the Q&A, but we can throw that into another episode.
Well, we could just do Q&A like in that episode, because I don't imagine we'll have so many questions that'll be a whole episode.
Yeah, tack that onto an episode. We've been wanting to do Twilight. That's the one thing that I think as a lead up to the Battinson, that would be a good, fun thing to talk about and probably do. But we got some time.
The new Scream
we don't
also
get to
comes
that,
out
I won't
this
feel
week,
terrible.
But I don't know if we don't want to go to a movie theater.
Yeah, and I've never seen the old Scream. I've seen the parody of I've seen Scary Movie, so I feel like I have seen it, and if I saw it, I'd be like, oh yeah, this is a less funny version of that scene.
I've only seen the first Scream, but that first Scream holds up. It's actually a really good movie.
I believe it. I do think the conceit of it as one of the original, self-aware slasher movies in the vein of Cabin in the Woods and something else I watched recently. What is it? What's a self-aware horror thing I watched recently?
I don't know what you've watched recently.
Right? Now I'm wondering. But something where the characters are in a horror movie, this one dies first, so don't go do this. It was the blueprint for that almost, in a way that I can appreciate. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this week is Spy Kids.
Maybe. We can finally get to it. Finally put that one to rest.
It would be great. I think it would be fun. And it's got a video game, kind of as a lead up to, I don't know, Sonic later this year and Uncharted. It's a movie about video games. Plus it takes place all in the metaverse. So
that's true.
Yeah, because for everybody that doesn't know, it's the Spy Kids 3D specifically, the one where they go into video games. It's a rough one. Anything to plug? DJ, we'll start with you. Great stuff. Diggins, what about you? Anything to plug?
I got my usuals. You have my newsletter, alittleperspective.substack.com, and I stream at twitch.tv/thisisanodname. Also, I am currently accepting clients for I Dungeon Master professionally, Dungeons and Dragons, as well as many other RPGs. If you are interested, you can, contact me on Twitter or email me, chrisdigginsgm@gmail.com.
Genius. That sounds cool. Very cool. I'm trying to think. Do I have stuff? Yeah, I guess I got a video coming out probably this week. That's my Fantastic Four fan casting video. So I'm really close to being done filming that because I've been taking time between it. But it's going to be on the longer side. But I have at least 5 actors for every character. But I pick one. I decide on one that I'm this is probably the one they should pick, or at least the one that I would love them to pick.
I thought you were saying they should do it for 1/5 of the movie, Mr. Fantastic is played by this actor, and then inexplicably in the next scene he switches to this actor.
To be so good, like a Mr. Megorium's Implorium, but never explained. Just like, huh, you're black now. Good to know. Good to know. All right, next. Wow, you're tall now. Okay, cool. I will say, I'll tease one that I love that I don't think will happen, and is not the one I pick for my Human Torch. But I do think Dev Patel would make a great Human Torch. Like, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, he's so perfect age-wise, and like, he's got the right vibe. He could do it. He'd be such a... I've been thinking about it a lot last couple days. Besides the fact that he was also Firebending Man in that awful Avatar movie. He's just like...
Well, hey, he was the best part of that movie.
Sexy. Yes... Probably? I'm trying to remember.
I'm not saying he even remotely redeemed it, but, you know, if I had to pick something
what the
from
worst
that
best
movie...
part was. Yeah, I guess you're right. I think my favorite part of that movie was when those two people fall in love, and then the one person's like, you fell in love with her, didn't you? And he's like, yeah. That was pretty cool. Great stuff. DJ, it's been a pleasure having you on. So good to talk to you.
Yeah.
Do you have any compliments you want to give us? You son of a bitch. No compliments. God damn it, DJ.
Wow, how dare he?
Dead to me. Well, until next week, where we'll probably do Spy Kids 3D, but no promises. I am at Nando V Movies on Twitter.
I'm at Zippy by Day and definitely here the whole time.
And I'm at This Is an Odd Name.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye. We love you.